Saturday night, people. Saturday night. Welcome, welcome. You're all very, very welcome. Early gang, hit up those likes. Lots to discuss, lots to talk about. Welcome to the Call In Khan Show, your favorite Saturday night place to be. Uh, yeah, man, loads to talk about, and you know me, I don't like talking on my own. So I've got Mr. Bilal, who's gonna be my enemy, well, footballing enemy tomorrow. But today he's calm. Today he's cool.
Yeah, today I'm cool. Today I was enjoying the football, and I had a bit of a mad hour before the show. I had like three screens going. Got the Milan game, got the Dortmund game, while at the same time trying to secure tickets for tomorrow's game. So all a bit mad. Yeah. So just enjoying the show of today. But Man City today, honestly, man, how are we gonna stop these guys? I'm watching them. I'm just thinking, we all need to come together and stop these guys. At this point, for the greater good of the Premier League, everyone put the rivalries aside, sit down, let's have a conversation and talk about how we stop Haaland, De Bruyne, Foden, all of these guys. Cancelo today. Oh my God, what a player! We need to. I think as a league, we need to figure it out. I'm not even joking. There's 19 other teams in this league. Like, it's a joke. It's a joke.
It is a joke, man. People, I'm about to post the link right now uh, in terms of how you can join us and talk about anything you want. I see your comments. We'll let Bilal go through some of the comments that people want to talk about while I post this.
Yeah, I'll be doing that. So yeah, I'll just start from. Well, I know you Liverpool fans, you're not happy. The news just breaking just a few minutes ago about Arthur Melo, and we will get into him. Don't worry, we'll be talking about Liverpool's transfer strategy in January. I'm pretty sure we'll have a lot of people wanting to jump on and talk about that. We got a comment here about Chelsea today. Chelsea are loading. Potter ball on Eurostars. I was saying, listen, I'm seeing a little something from Chelsea, like a little bit of signs, and yeah, we can see what they're doing already. For me, my only question with Potter was he going to hit the ground running, or was he going to, struggle a little bit at the start? But long term, I think Grizz, you're the same. You have no doubts about him, to be honest.
Yeah,
What?
look, Potter's doing his business, and he's great. He's slowly but surely you can see his influence. It's going to take time. It ain't going to be easy. Yeah, the Dortmund scenes. Wow, what a game! What a game! Not often Bayern let a two-goal lead slip, I should say. But yeah, it's pretty mad. People, I've put the link in the description, pinned, I should say, in the chat. You know the rules. Channel members, new callers get priority. You have to have a camera and a bit of patience because you know how it is on
Of
this show,
course.
man. Every man and woman wants to talk to Bilal. You understand? When it's Saturday night, Bilal is the star attraction. People want to get in here and talk. Yeah, look, it was mad. It was mad. No one wants to help
Help.
beat City. Oh, once, sorry. Yeah, he's trying to say, well,
We're gonna have to find
Gallagher
a way.
looking good.
Yeah, Gallagher looking good. Broha today getting a goal. This is what Potter can do, man.
Don't drag the calls today, please. Some waffle for ages. Call in, bro. Call in and stop the waffle, innit? Call in and tell us what you don't want to waffle about. You know what I mean? Feel free. Feel free. Studio's full, Studio's full already.
It's
Um,
mad.
yeah. We're gonna start getting through people. To be honest with you guys, I'm gonna try keep it moving. A lot of people in the comments and chat say, "Yeah, man, you need to keep the flow moving." It's like a lot of people saying the same thing every week. I like to get a variety of callers, people, a variety of clubs. It's not predominantly Liverpool. It's not predominantly, and I want the same faces, same opinions. It's all about variety on this show. But it says in the title, channel members, one of the perks is to have priority on call and active shows. So
Mhm.
yeah, man. So which games did you watch, Bilal, today, man? Talk to me.
Well,
As you can see with the Mellow news and facing the league
mhm.
leaders tomorrow, and you guys are flying hella cocky, and yeah, I mean, I'm a bit down. I'm not gonna lie to you, but what are you saying?
Yeah, well, so the first game I watched today was
Oh,
unfortunately this game. And today was no 12:30 games. It's a bit weird, waking up, you do your stuff in the morning, then no 12:30, but it's okay. Had a bit more time to myself. Came back 3 o'clock, Man City, and you just see what these guys are doing here. Like it is an absolute joke at this moment in time. Let me see if I can get the lineups up here for us guys to just look at. Hopefully, you guys can see that. Unless you guys want me to zoom in,
Probably zoom in. You know, like we can work out what's going on, man. Really.
Yeah. Don't think you guys can really see the names here, but yeah, you can have an idea of the formations.
Yeah, exactly, man. Well, what we know is Kanji's got a nice start to his Man City career. He settled in nicely alongside Diaz while Laporte is injured. Of course, Kyle Walker being injured. Laporte being injured, but he's back now, but he's not fully fit. Kyle Walker, the most recent injury. Cancelo just switched over to right back like nothing.
Yeah, no, this guy is
he was so good, was he?
So he's just an absolute joke of a player at this point, man. Cancelo, like today, he's dribbling past people like he's Leao at AC Milan or he's Vinicius Junior. The guy's control of the ball, his Trivela passes or crosses rather, the ball's bouncing and he can still just find that perfect delivery with that outrageous technique. For me,
do you know what is Bilal? You know what is? I'm one of those guys that I can handle, or I can accept other ballers being brilliant. You know that. So people always say to me, "Oh," in the chat, like, or they say like, "Why are you not backing Trent?" Or "Why are you saying Cancelo?" Or "Why are you saying Reece?" Come on, man. These guys are wonderful players. Cancelo is a proper footballer, man. You know what I mean? He doesn't have to wear the red of Liverpool for me to rate him. I can rate other people. He's one of those guys that he's beautiful to watch. But what I will say, not a lot of his deficiencies when defending are brought up. And that's the only hypocrisy sometimes I struggle with. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I hear that because he does defensively. For me, you can get at him. You can get at him. You can concede a penalty if you really get at him. He's a type of person. He's not maybe the most defensively secure, fullback, but that's not the modern game. The modern game, especially if you're playing for Man City, you're playing for Liverpool, you're playing for a top team. You're thinking about what you're going to do to the opposition. You're not thinking about what they're going to do to you, and that's why a player like Cancelo can thrive in a system like Pep's. So for me, yes, of course, he's going to have deficiencies. Every player does. If they didn't, well, we'd be just watching robots play. Everyone's a human being here, trying to do their best. And for me, Cancelo is a guy with just immense quality. Any team would love to have him. And today I was watching Juventus, and to see that they swapped Danilo for Cancelo, I think that
you watched the hella games, boy. I tell you, you're getting ready for Eurostars ready. Basically, you wanted to be on it.
I want everything. I think I got a bit of PSG here right now, but Real Madrid are playing right now, I believe. But yeah, I'll catch up on that later. But apart from that, yeah, Man City. If you scroll down as well and just see the rest of their team, and you look at their midfielders and
it's funny. Forwards. Look, we actually check this out. Yeah, we're actually talking about Man City, right? We're actually bigging up Man City. We're actually talking about how they're so good and we need to stop them. We're talking about Cancelo, yeah. And check this, people in the chat. Why are you such a Man City hater clown? Look at this. Look at this. It's mad, isn't it? I love bringing up these people. You are so biased. You are the worst on the big six. Lol. In capitals, in capitals, man's
get a life, bro.
Jeez, man. I'm gonna one more stupid comment. I'm gonna block you, you dickhead. You know what I mean? I'm proper bigging you guys up. We're actually distraught. We're actually down, saying how do we support stop Man City because they're so good. Cancelo's a wonderful player, and you're chatting shit like that in my chat. These people. But anyway, couple of super chats below that we need to get through before we continue. Start getting some callers in. First super chat of the night is from Game King. He says, appreciate the support, my brother. He says, am I the only one who's not impressed with Spurs? They got lucky today. And then following that, someone's already wants to answer him. He says, Spurs didn't get lucky, bro. Big up AB15. He says, Spurs didn't get lucky, bro. Watch the game. Shape was... What did you think? Okay, did you watch that game as well?
I did not watch that game. So that's the one game I cannot give you an opinion because...
So I watched that game. I watched that game, right? Yeah. So look, it was a typical Brighton versus Spurs. So what we imagine about Brighton, what we imagine about Spurs, it was that. Yeah. So Spurs are all about the efficiency, chances to a minimum, bang, goal, and then they're one of the hardest teams to break down. Once they take the lead, Conte just, man, he's not letting anyone have any space between the lines. It's a pure 5-4-1, bro. It's peak. And for Brighton played really well at times in the second half. Brighton were like the football, McAllister, Casado, the usual suspects, Trossard and the man. But that guy Welbs, I know you're a fan of him. Just, I mean,
A little bit.
Let's get the
Welbeck,
stats.
yeah,
let's get the stats up.
Yeah, let's see this possession. I'm expecting Brighton to have more of the ball. Let's see what happened. Yeah, of course they did. So yeah, Brighton.
There you go.
Cooking. They were cooking. Their touches, passes, tackles. Even they can see everything there. They were on job, but even they had more shots on target. It says here, but as I said, that's why at the beginning of the season, before the season started, I had Tottenham in second place as my prediction, just because of this. They can play a team like Brighton. Most other teams might struggle or even lose a game against Brighton, but Tottenham, with the quality they have up front, they can find a way. It's just about them finding that balance, right? Even though they might not look pretty to watch, they might be boring to most of us, but they can just find a way to get the job done. When you got Kane, Son, Richarlison, all of these guys, Kulusevski, come on. Like, that's quality. And Conte, that's what he's going to be relying on all season.
All season. That's his game, bro. That's him, down to a T. Yeah, man, listen. Let's get that win tomorrow, AB15. And that chest is coming out, man. Let's get that win. I'm barking, bro. Relax,
I'm watching Salah closely
I have
tomorrow.
to be realistic.
If he does anything crazy, I'm just going to try to shout at him because I think I'm going to be near him. I'm coming for him tomorrow.
Oh, Lord. Terry says, big up, brother Grizz, man. The man, yeah, man. Big up
I can't wait for tomorrow, man. I can't lie. I think we'll have a lot of chat about tomorrow's game, but tomorrow's going to be mad. Arsenal-Liverpool games for me, because it's not like Arsenal-Liverpool fans actually have a lot of respect for each other out of the big six teams. But the games itself, I think that's why the games are always the most entertaining to watch. I think it's the highest scoring fixture in Premier League history.
Okay.
There's always crazy goals. Yeah, no, bro, 4-4s, 4-3s, 4-2s, just crazy scorelines all the time. When this fixture comes around, late goals, it's one of the fixtures I definitely look forward to every season. Arsenal-Liverpool. So yeah, I can't wait for him. I'm buzzing. Either way, whatever happens, I'm just gonna go and enjoy.
I don't know about either way.
Either way. No. If my team do well, I need them to do well. But the spectacle, Klopp, Arteta.
Yeah.
Listen,
I hear that.
Let's enjoy, man.
I'm
not gonna go home sad. That's all I'm trying to say.
Fair enough. That's brave of you. I'm gonna go home crying if we lose, man. It is what it is, man. Actually, I'm not, because I've seen us play pop this season, so I'm kind of not used to it. But yeah, I'm used to it for this season, I guess. I'm not used to it.
Recently.
People see my reaction, man, on the big 60 the other night, man. I was distraught. I was tired anyway, people need to know I was very tired. I'd been done about 5 shows for different platforms. I was hella tired. I started like 9 a.m. in the morning. I sent you a voice note. That's when I'm up early. So I was tired. And then on top of that, Liverpool's tired as well. You know what I mean? So it's all good.
Is Thiago fit? Is he tired?
People, see, I can't reveal too much to you, man, in case you pass the shit on to your people at Arsenal, man. You know what I mean? We're gonna keep that one a bit close, cards close to our chest about that business. People, there's 170 of you in here. Why haven't you smashed the like button? Because there's about 50 likes, I believe, which is quite embarrassing.
Yeah, that's poor, guys.
Stop what you're doing. Don't even listen to. Stop what you're doing. Don't listen to anyone else. Just stop what you're doing. Focus, hit that like button, and then we can keep it moving. We've got so much to get through. We're going to start getting through some callers. I see some people waiting in the chat. We're about to get you on. So smash that like first and foremost. But yeah, man.
Just run through the other results just quickly before we.
Yeah, come. Let's do this. Let's do this. Yeah.
Quickly, because some fan bases, man, they'll say we don't show them any respect. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let's see what we got here. So first of all, I'll get the Chelsea game up, and Chelsea today 3-0 win. Potter ball, they're doing their thing already. Like, you can see the difference. Gallagher playing well, Broha getting a goal. That's what Potter does, man. He did it with Brighton. Not many players had a fixed position in the team. A lot of players were searching for an identity. Potter came to Brighton, gave a lot of these players belief, a role, and a way to play. And I think he's going to do the same thing at Chelsea. And for me, I was someone heavily criticizing Chelsea with the transfer window, how it looked, the way Thomas Tuchel was playing. And now you look at just a few games with Potter. And I think, maybe by next season, another summer, boy, that could be a scary prospect. We've also got Newcastle today, 5-1 win against Brentford.
Big win. Yeah.
Big.
Because Brentford can be a bit difficult.
Yeah, definitely can be a difficult team. Brentford are very hard to play against with that 3-5-2 that they normally play. It is a difficult team, energy, intense. Thomas Frank is one of the most like demanding managers, definitely in the Premier League. Expect so much from his players. But again, Bruno Guimaraes, I put a little question out there and I said, is he the best player outside the big six? And for me, I'd say he is.
Let's speak on it, people. That's one of the talking points, possibly. Let's speak on that if that's the case.
Yeah, for me, Bruno Guimaraes, what a player. As an Arsenal fan, for me, I'm looking at Edu Gaspar. Twice you could have signed him. Twice you said no. I don't know what you're doing, but he's showing his quality now at Newcastle. And if Newcastle continue, keep investing. You don't know how long he'd stay there because still, I think the likes of even Real Madrid were linked at one point. You know, for this player, and he's that good. He could play at the top level, in my opinion. But I think the biggest shock of the day was Bournemouth to Leicester 1. Is it a shock? I'm not too sure anymore. But Brendan Rodgers, he's on the ropes. He's on the ropes. They beat Forest and now they lose to Bournemouth. Come on, what's going on there?
I don't even know that's ropes, man. I think this is like it's pure. Like, what do they do after this, man? Like, what can they do? Like, they just have to. Either he has to walk, which he's not. I keep saying he don't want to lose that pot. He don't want to lose that bag, man. You know what I mean? That he's old. If he's gonna walk out with a bag. You know that Denzel Washington meme, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, man. I'm leaving here something. You know what I mean? He's gonna leave. He wants to leave with something. So
I want the FA Cup. I'm taking my 20 million. I'm going home. Thank you very much.
Simple. But that's a disastrous, especially they're taking a lead, man. They're taking a lead
early. And they lose the game in a few minutes, like that against Bournemouth. And Bournemouth, I think they're above Liverpool right now. I think they might be, which is mad. I think they're in 8th place right now. So yeah, it's all looking all a bit mad in the table. But Leicester should be beating Bournemouth. Like they've got the quality, they've got the players. For me, Brendan Rodgers at this point, the Leicester fans are singing Brendan out after the game. I was listening to some Leicester commentary and fans after, and they're saying at this point he's got to go because even if you pay him 20 million, if you get relegated, how much is that going to cost Leicester City as a football club? They don't want to go back down to the Championship, man. They've seen it. They've been there. They've been down in the dumps before. They've had one of the most unbelievable stories in Premier League football. And yeah, at this point, man, where Leicester go from here, I don't know.
Where do you go from here? I think it's time to bring in. We've had a little 20-minute opening spell as we always do. Let's bring in the first caller, and it's a very familiar face. You understand? Very familiar face that we all know, we all become to love. It's the man.
Hey, good evening. Good night for you guys. Bilal.
Hey, can I just before you go, and you know me, I like to give you the floor.
Do your thing, Grizz. Do your thing.
But look at this guy, Bilal. Yeah, I'm gonna backbite in front of you though, so it's not backbiting. I'm gonna talk about you in front of you. Bilal, check this guy out. Check this guy out, man. Yeah. Every time when we win, he comes on all angry and pissed off. Yeah. But when we're shit, he's coming on smiling and fresh. Bandana.
Grizz, you do it like that. Nah.
Yeah, so he's like coming on so happy and yeah, man, we ain't doing shit. I told you we ain't doing shit. We're this, we're that. He's come to give me smoke. He ain't come to give Bilal smoke. Or he might do. I don't know how this is gonna go, but I don't give a shit. I love you still, and I love when you call in. The floor is yours, my brother.
All my love for you went out the window, Grizz. You know why?
No, you can't go out the window.
No, let me tell you why.
Love ain't got love ain't going nowhere.
Listen, Grizz, listen. If you'd have just hold what you said.
No, I couldn't.
No, hear me out. Thank you for saying it. But had you hold what you said, your Saturday night would have been lovely. Because I'm coming with big guns to Bilal, you know.
Oh,
big guns. And it's not even about tomorrow. It's something he said on the opening of the show. I need you to do a background check on Bilal. Because here's Bilal talking about us 19 teams need to learn how to stop City when he specifically went to City and said, how can we stop Liverpool? And City said, you know what? Hold some of our players. That should do the trick.
So you think we're working in a conspiracy with Man City to stop Liverpool? No. Listen. At the end of the day, we're the only ones. We're trying to take things from Man City and trying to weaken them, but somehow they're finding a way, man, to go get a robot in.
I'm not buying that, Bilal.
We need to
Grizz, listen to me. Listen to me, Grizz. Which team is running up on City besides Liverpool? Be honest. 6 years now. Which team is running up on City?
Apart from us?
Exactly.
Only us.
Thank you. So, if you're a team in the league and you want to sniff the top, who are you going to aim for? The low-end fruit, right? Liverpool, because you can't touch City. So you're going to be like, you know what? Since we can't touch them, man, how can we get these guys? And City said, you know what? They got a problem with Jesus. Here's Jesus. You know, Salah look like a trouble. Here's Zinchenko. He can do a thing. Arsenal is designed to beat Liverpool. I'm going to put it right now. Liverpool is the only test for Arsenal. If Arsenal walk away with something good from this game, they could get second or first. They ain't really going nowhere. And the reason why Bilal said what he said in the opening 20, he know he can't touch City, but he know he can touch us. So what he's going to say, how can we stop City? He's not asking no other team to stop us because he knows City already gave him the tools to stop us.
My friend, like, you look at Man City, man, we have to just be honest. I'm just seeing a team that is a well-oiled machine, pardon the pun. Yeah, that team there is on a different well-oiled machine.
So you're confessing that we're not well-oiled, so you're going to just shoot us down.
Well, as I said to Grizz a minute ago, Bournemouth are ahead of Liverpool in the table, I believe, as things stand. I'm going to double check
there's the smoke.
There's the smoke. Lies on the
You're not saying Arsenal is above City. Where's that energy?
We're second right now. That's why. Then that's a test. That's why I think tomorrow, as you said, psychologically beating Liverpool, one of the top two teams of the last, 7 years probably. If Arsenal can actually get a win in that game and then go above City again, I think that's massive. Because as we've seen, how many head-to-heads have Man City struggled against Liverpool when Liverpool are fully on it with the style Klopp plays as opposed to Pep? That's why I think tomorrow is going to be massive for either team. I think if Liverpool get a result tomorrow and they win that game, season's back on. Like, Liverpool are gonna be coming with that energy to go to Man City next, feeling pumped. But if it goes the other way, it's peak. You have to keep it real. It's peak. That's why tomorrow is mad. Tomorrow's a mad game for everyone.
Well, Jez is in the background. Jez is he's throwing punches early. He's in the background. He's going to be on in a little while. We've got about
I'm not going to take long, Grizz, but I just want you to know.
No, you're good.
Put a disclaimer in there.
No, you're good to go still. I'm just saying. He's saying Arsenal are doing nothing. If Liverpool,
but Bilal try to put the disclaimer in there and try to rally the other teams to take down City, knowing well City gave them all the tools they needed to beat us. I don't like that, Bilal. I didn't like that. I thought you was more honest than that. I thought you would have just, write out Arsenal or up there and wouldn't even mention City. For you to try to get us to get on your side to take down City so you guys can win? Nah, you know what? If we need you guys, Bilal,
somebody else has to win. With all the smoke. Somebody else has to win. I wanted Liverpool to win the league last season just for the pure fact that I didn't like the fact that Man City keep winning the Premier League. It needs to change hands. This is not the Bundesliga, please. This is the Premier League.
So what you're saying, we need to win tomorrow to kickstart our season, right?
Listen, I just want someone else to win the league, to be honest, other than Man City.
But what you're saying for tomorrow?
Unless they're not named Tottenham or Man United. If apart from them two teams, anyone else. So that's
but our next game is tomorrow. Left. So do you expect us to win tomorrow to kickstart our season?
No, I expect Arsenal to win tomorrow. I expect Arsenal to. That's why I said if you guys still can win that game, that's going to change your season because I'm going into that expecting Arsenal to just continue their form.
Bilal, you guys cannot see City. We can see City. So we need to start our season. We need to win tomorrow. Are you going to say we need to win tomorrow to take on City? So, what do you think?
Zuberi, are you saying, you know what you're saying? I see where Zuberi is going with this, He's saying, practice what you preach. Yeah. Let us turn up tomorrow. Let us turn up tomorrow because you ain't handling City after this. You ain't handling this.
So you guys are the best placed guys. So we should just let you win and you do the thing.
Chill. You chill tomorrow.
Let the best man go for it, Bilal, is what I'm saying. Let the best man go for it. If you're saying we're the best man, let us go for it.
Let us go to, let us arrive on the carpet. That's what you call it, innit? The carpet, yeah?
Man.
Yeah, let us just ride the ray on the floor on the carpet and have fun on the carpet.
Hey,
and you step aside.
Yeah, don't pressure us tomorrow because we need that momentum. So don't run us down to 90 minutes.
Yeah.
So I need you in the carpet singing Mo Salah chants. I need you there backing us. I need Arsenal to lift us up. Play You Never Walk Alone in the stadium. You know,
I'll tell
Coach does that shit.
Honestly,
the coach does that shit. So do some of that. Play You Never Walk Alone. Make it feel like Anfield for us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying, Grizz?
Let us handle our business and step aside in it.
So Grizz,
we got a new song. You heard
this
the
is
new
the
song.
energy I got, you know.
Okay.
Listen, Arsenal, we got a new song now before every game. It's because inspired pretty much by Liverpool fans. Because we're looking at Liverpool, like they got this song going, you know, before the game. A bit of atmosphere. Maybe we can use that and we're helping each other. You see, you guys got a song now. We got a song. Everyone's helping each other.
Do not sing that song until the next game. Don't sing this song for tomorrow. Sing it for the other game. Just play You Never Walk Alone and let us take this.
No, but you know what it is, right, guys? Look, like, not this one, this one. So Joe D says, I don't think any team is anywhere near City. Like if you talk about overall, that doesn't count because we are. If you talk about this season, it's only Arsenal, or is it anyone else that's close to City right now? Because
it might be nailed points, but the way they play, probably, yeah. Tottenham are like 3 points behind City today.
Okay, so stylistically, it's you guys, right? But in terms of efficiency and realistic squad depth, maybe Spurs that could give them
Spurs, but then
give them
Tottenham,
a game because we know Spurs can give them a game.
Yeah, 100%. They get 1-on-1 to beat them in Champions League. They beat them 2 times last season. They did the double over them. So yeah, 1-on-1, Tottenham can definitely chat to Man City, but overall, it's hard. And Liverpool are showing it's hard because they keep losing the league by 1 point. So
yeah, it's tough. Difficult. It's tough. We need other teams to go on like 15-game winning streak, but not Arsenal and not tomorrow. But I'm saying we need to start tomorrow. You know, Grizz, we came off that nice little win, new formation, looking fresh. Everyone was feeling it. So Bilal, I need to tell your guys, tell your fans, pipe it down, and let us start our season right here, right now. Because we had a long preseason. Let's be honest. We've been figuring things out, working out the kinks. So tomorrow, Bilal, I need you guys to tone it down. Just play You'll Never Walk Alone. Let us get the 3 points, and let's get up there with City. Because you guys are not fit to go 38 games. You guys all know it's going to come a point in the season where you're going to trip up, stumble up, 2 injuries, and you're done out here. So just sit back and let us show you how we do it. I know we started slow, but Bilal, practice what you preach. If you're saying it's us, let us take
I say we start from tomorrow. Let's play tomorrow. Whoever wins, then we start, just creating a little conspiracy against Man City together. I say we do that because we're going to need to join forces. I even seen, this is not a joke, this is real information by journalists, reliable journalists have said that the Premier League managers, the other ones apart from Pep, have been speaking to each other about how to stop Haaland. Like, it's not a joke. This is happening already behind the scenes, guys. I'm trying to tell you, the conspiracy.
Nah, Bilal, you're doing a conspiracy thing, man. I'm not buying it. You're trying to say
it's not working. It's not working. It's not working.
Bilal, I'm not supporting Arsenal if you guys win. The hate will be a little stronger if you guys win. We're not rallying behind you to take down City. Because you, man, wasn't really rallying behind us when we came up a point short.
So what I'm establishing is, me and Zuberi are a little bit different in terms of, I sense he looks at Arsenal like I look at Chelsea. Is that right? Because I look at Chelsea like I can't support Chelsea. I hate them with a passion.
I do hate Arsenal with a passion because they play the most sexiest football I've ever seen in England. I'm talking about early 2000 when they were playing some of the sexiest football, and all we had at that point was Gerrard. And I'm like, we can't string 2 passes like that. So they used to discuss me, man. Henry doing the Grizz, you know what I'm talking about. They used to be filthy, cutting up teams left, right. I'm like, ooh, I wish my team can do that,
I'm not joking, but I think a lot of youngsters, and I'm serious, a lot of youngsters Arsenal have become a banter club. Now they're back. Okay, a little bit. They're not a banter club now. We know that, yeah? But Arsenal, the football that Arsenal played under Arsene Wenger in the them times, what was Barry's referencing. I'm sorry, Man City ain't touching that football.
Nah.
Chelsea definitely ain't touching that football.
They were exciting to watch, man.
Chelsea, Man City, even my club, Liverpool, ain't playing that football. I'm saying it straight up. Arsenal played the best football that I've seen in the Premier League.
You know what the icing on the cake is, Grizz?
It was only a couple of seasons. Still, I think it was only probably max. I don't know, Zuberi. I don't know if you remember.
I'll give him 3. I'll give him 3 because they wasn't really winning much doing that sexy football.
Okay, maybe 2-3 seasons, but
Grizz, here's the icing on the cake. Here's the icing on the cake. These men went and called the JFA, Jamaica Football Association, or JFF Federation, and asked them permission to patent up the Jamaican colors on one of their kits.
Yeah.
As a Jamaican, man, I want to get the kit.
Get it, man.
It's sexy. And it's my colors. But it's an Arsenal kit.
It's an Arsenal.
You have to get it, man. Jamaica. I was listening to a Jamaican, can't remember the YouTube channel, but there's some Jamaican guy who was looking at the kit and he was doing the history of Jamaicans and the link with Arsenal and how they've.
It runs deep. It definitely runs deep. It was a good it was a good strategy.
Yeah,
a lot of them support Arsenal.
Yeah, and the way they support Arsenal, the players of Jamaican heritage that we've had at our club, a lot of the links there. That's why the kit got commissioned as well, because of that kind of link and support. So yeah, they should have done it ages ago, in my opinion. That kind of
stop that, because I got a lot of Clarks with the Jamaican pattern, and it's really hard to match up that Clarks. And to see that kid come out, Grizz, I can be the freshest guy in a party right now with them Clarks.
No, you are anyway. You are anyway. But if you add this, you're pretty much Haaland.
That's what I'm saying. And who doesn't want to be Haaland?
Who doesn't want to be Haaland right now?
You know what I'm saying? But I can't with the Arsenal crest. I'm gonna have to see if I can buy it without the Arsenal crest, which is impossible. But I'm gonna shop around. There gotta be a knockoff one out there, you know, maybe with a Liverpool badge on it or something. I'm gonna have to figure something out. But I need this kit, Grizz. I need this kit. So if you see me with a Liverpool kit with the Arsenal colors, just know I did what I had to do.
See, the thing is, right? The thing is, my parents are from Pakistan, and I'm from Pakistan as well originally. So, and if you look at the Pakistan cricket team, the kits for the World Cup that's coming up is sick. So I don't know how to actually. I'm gonna try to find it and share the screen. Yeah, while you guys talk. You guys talk, man. Let me try to find something.
But yo, Bella, you man are dirty for that kit. I was holding it in, but when you come out here talking about we should help you take down City. I ain't like that, Bilal, man. It's like, what are you doing here? You know we're the better team to take down City. And if you give us a tough game, it's going to be even harder. You're going to be like, oh, look at you guys. Started slow, but you only came in 1 point. Yeah, because you guys pressured us. And I know you guys come with that pressure tomorrow. I hear you talking about bringing down
Jesus. I can't tell Jesus don't run. He might run me over if I tell him don't run, man. Martinelli, you think I can tell him don't run? The guy's gonna run.
But you know, another thing is, Bilal, I used to call this Guna Lee, chicken foot Lee, because he always get on Salah when Salah was on top. And now Salah's a little shaky, and you're talking about you're gonna yell at Salah to get him off his game.
I need to stop him because Zinchenko might be playing that side, and I know that side with Gabriel might be open. So I need to do something to stop Salah.
Why can't I share screen here?
What are you trying to share? Send me the link in the chat. I'll try to do it.
No, but why is mine not sharing?
Is it not?
No, am I not in the thing?
I told you got to watch Bilal. Bilal did a proper Arsenal takeover right now.
I'm saying, what's he doing?
Blocking up the whole vibes, Grizz. You got to watch Bilal, man. I'm trying to tell you.
It's on present. They changed the name of it. That's why.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, you clocked. Yeah, they changed the name of it.
Switching up the vocals on you, Grizz. Arsenal, man. Yeah.
Yo, what are you saying about these kits, man? Look at this. A bit of green in them, yeah. Some of them.
Ooh, Grizz, you might save me, but I can't wear this in the West Indies. You crazy?
I'm
gonna pull up with the Pakistan kits in the West Indies, Grizz. Trying to get me roughed up.
I'm pretty certain in West Indies we're everyone's second team. Just like in Pakistan, West Indies are our second team.
Now you got a
I'm
few Sri
telling you.
Lanka men in there. You got a few Sri Lanka men in there.
Okay, maybe, but I'm telling you, Pakistan, like Pakistani supporters, if they're not supporting Pakistan, they're Windies, man. And
Yeah,
same with the Windies, man.
they respect Pakistan, but I've never seen a Pakistan kit, so I don't want to be the first one with the Pakistan kit.
Be the first.
Start something. Start something, man.
Be the first. Be the
I've seen Sri
icebreaker.
Lanka kits. I've seen England kits. I don't want to be the first with the Pakistan kit, but it looks very close to the Jamaican colors. I like it.
Be the icebreaker. Be the taboo buster. Be all of that. Be Zuberi. You are the first one. It will be big. It will be big.
You're telling me basically be Bobby Firmino and don't try to be Haaland. It's tough, but I'll back it. I'll back it.
That's what I'm saying to you, man. Come on, World Cup is there. You know what I mean? You can have an Arsenal green kit and a Pakistan cricket team. People are gonna think, what the fuck is this?
What's going on? What's going on? But the brother's confused. What's going on?
Listen, I got Arsenal fans. My homeboy Arsenal fans. They play for the West Indies, you know. It's not gonna go over well. It's not gonna go over well, but I'll try it. I'll try to see if I can pull it off. But hey Grizz, I told you it was a different energy today. I saw what you was trying to do, you know. You and Bilal, you a good match. But Bilal, I'm on to you, you know. We're not backing you guys to take down City. If you guys win, we're gonna back you guys to capitulate, bottle it after the World Cup. I'm telling you.
So let's say Arsenal, Man City are actually going head to head till May. You're going Man City. You want them to win over Arsenal. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, because I need you guys to still be the banter club. So
this is why Man City keep winning. This is why Man City keep winning.
But listen,
because everyone else wants someone else to lose.
Bilal, hear me out. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. City never win the Champions League. So them winning the league to us is meaningless at this point.
Really?
Not in a disrespectful way, but it's like, be honest. Haaland has like what, 16, 15 goals?
Yeah, 15 today, I believe.
I mean,
no comps.
Screw him,
Grizz, be honest. They're doing crazy stuff. We've been running them down 98 points, coming up second. Them winning it now, it's almost like, all right, we tried. Arsenal winning it now. Can you imagine these Arsenal men come out the woodwork? Grizz, you know,
they might be shut down for a week.
You know, these Arsenal fans are unbearable.
Okay, see, when you explain it and break it down like that, I hear you. I do hear you. Because I couldn't handle them. Like, I can handle my brother Bilal. I can handle him. He's my little brother in it, so I can slap him down if he gets too leery, yeah? But I hear you, though. I hear you, because Arsenal fans, as a social media animal, would be just wild.
Can you imagine season 2 on Amazon Prime?
Oh,
with that Arsenal documentary?
Oh, I need that. I need that. Oh, I need that. Oh, you don't get me excited. Don't get me too excited.
Grizz,
I need that.
The point I'm making is when City win the league, the fans are neutral. They're not even unbearable because they never won the Champions League. So they don't even throw nothing in your face. But Arsenal winning it, we're talking season 2 and 3 on Amazon Prime.
You make such a good point, man.
We're talking about
this is an issue. This is why Man City keep winning. This is why Man City keep winning, because we're looking at Man City. Like, if Man City win, like, it doesn't affect our daily lives. But if Liverpool win, if Arsenal win, if Man United win, that's affecting everyone's lives, you know.
Oh man, it affects everything. There's new bank holidays on a Friday now. You know, Arsenal would do the madness. So we can't have
Terrence. Yo, get out of here, man. Get out of here, bro.
Humble.
How you say Arsenal?
I don't know who that is. Here, I need to see where he's coming from, but I've never met a humble Arsenal fan.
Yeah, Arsenal fans are crazy, man. You understand?
Yeah. Nah, I'm with that, Grizz. But you know what, Grizz?
I agree. I can't lie.
I summarized today, Grizz. We're on the same level. Not always it happens. The love came back. You came back to the corner. Appreciate you, Grizz.
No. You know what? I rate you. I always rate you anyway, but I rate you today because you spun it around nicely. You turned me like I was walking off. You tapped me on the shoulder. You said, "Yo, talk to me." You talked to me. You convinced me. You held my hand and you dragged me back, and I'm with you, bro. You done me. Nice.
So who's throwing the first punch at Bilal? Me or you? Yeah, he's gonna get slapped tomorrow, you know. I need you to practice what you preach.
Bilal, man. Surely you can't take this. Tomorrow you are not getting slapped, right? Surely. You got chest enough tomorrow.
Nah. Tomorrow, Arsenal, as Grizz, you know we're going to be coming all guns blazing. But if you guys can survive that first 20, 30 minutes, then it's game on. But if the first goal in that game is going to be important. Psychologically for the game, yeah, I think that first goal is going to be key. And the first 30 minutes, the high press, it's what you guys do at Anfield. It's what any team does at home. You know, when you're playing, especially a big team, you want to just show them, listen, today's our day, not your day. You've come to our ground, blah blah blah, etc. So yeah, I can't wait for tomorrow, man. I think it's going to be a good game, and whoever wins, it's gonna have big effects on what happens for the rest of the season. I think it's pivotal, especially with I don't know how many games you got left now, maybe 5 or 6 until the World Cup. That is congested. We're playing so many games until the World Cup now. So for me, this is a start. If someone can win this sort of game, it's a massive statement. Like Arsenal beating Tottenham last week, it's not a statement. That's a normal win. But if Arsenal can beat Liverpool, that's a statement. It doesn't matter where Liverpool are in the league because we know the quality they have, and it's only the beginning of the season still, really. Tomorrow, big game.
Before I jump out, can I get a score prediction from you guys? I'm going 2-1
hold
Arsenal.
Hold on. Hold on. Can I ask you something? Do you have to go? Do you have to go? Or you got a few minutes?
Actually, yeah. Give me like, yeah. I can stay.
All right, stick around for a little while. Let's go. Let's get the next caller in. Stick around. You know what? Congratulations to you lot as well, bro. Thank you very much, Norwin. Congratulations to you people that subscribe, that follow, that watch us, that like the stream. You know what I mean? Big up all of you lot, man. You know what I mean? 20K in around a year is mad. Is mad. I'm humbled. But I love
Grizz, you're on 20K. That's big. Well deserved.
Not quite. Soon come. Not quite. About November will be a year.
By the end of the day.
By the end
Let's put it in the air. Let's put it in the air.
Let's put it, man. Let's come on. Like we're gonna put the Liverpool win in the air as well. Let's just, you know.
I didn't put that in the air earlier. I'm sorry. I didn't put that in the air earlier. I said 2-1 loss. I'm sorry. Can I retract that?
Zoo, put that in there. Zoo, put that in there. I'm pushing it back down. You do it. You're gonna have to catch it first.
Let's get some callers in and then speak on some topics that people want to speak about. We get Avinash on. Jezza, you missed your role. I called you out in the studio. You're not there. Avinash is next. Avinash, how are you? Welcome again, my friend. Hope you're doing very well.
I'm good, Chris. I'm good. Can you hear me, by the way?
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah, we're hearing you good, Avinash. How you doing?
It's good.
All right, great. I'm doing good. Yeah, I actually happen to be on holiday. I'm visiting family back in India. So that's probably the reasons why I'm having internet issues. So
okay. When did you go?
It's been about 3 weeks. So I was having a good time. There was an international break.
Amazing.
And then Liverpool happened last weekend. So yeah, we'll talk about that though. Yeah.
What can I say, man? You went away for some peace and quiet and some enjoyment time with the family, but you couldn't stay away from Liverpool as well. And then you was hoping that Liverpool will give you some comfort, and then Liverpool do the shit they're doing. And I hope it hasn't ruined your break. I hope it hasn't ruined your holiday. Hope the family are well, the family are safe, and that's the main thing.
Yeah. It didn't ruin it apart from like for a couple of hours, but I just slept over it, and I was fine the next morning. So yeah, I actually thought I'd call in after the game, but I had a headache, to be honest, after watching that. So I just went.
We all did, bro. We all did.
I know. Yeah. Yep.
So tomorrow, how are you feeling? Because you're normally one of the positive ones. You always have a positive outlook.
Yeah.
And you know why I got you on today, Avinash? At the same time as Zuberi. There's a reason, and we're gonna get into the reason. So and then obviously we got an Arsenal fan as well. So take the floor, guys. Talk to me about tomorrow's game. What are you thinking?
Yeah, to be honest, I am not confident. I know, I probably have come across in the past as somebody who was a little more positive, was a little more upbeat about our chances. But this team has shown me absolutely nothing so far, to be honest, to be, in any way optimistic. I mean, of course, it's not like I've given up, or it's a big game, and the record against Arsenal speaks for itself. So there's no reason why we can't win it. But, just the way the last game panned out. I mean, honestly, it gave me vibes of back in Klopp's first couple of seasons, where all those horrible games that he had, Bournemouth away, Watford away, the 3-3, I think Arsenal away as well, there was a 3-3 there. It was just the lack of control, the chaos, the absolute the frenetic nature of those games. And it was almost like I knew as soon as we went 3-2 up, I knew we'd concede. It was just horrible flashbacks of those early years. And it felt like the players felt that too. And even Klopp said that, he wasn't very confident that we'd be able to hold on. And that was something else coming from the manager himself. So, yeah, I mean, I've taken all that into account. Yes, I mean, the Rangers game in midweek, I'm honestly not taking too much from that. For me, it's another Bournemouth. And, this is something I've noticed this season, that every time we have a bad result, there is a whole storm on social media and, we have a reaction, but the reaction doesn't seem to last beyond one game. And that's really doing my head in. So we have to break this cycle of, being shit and then showing reaction for one game and then going back to being shit. So until I see that happening, I'm not going to be very confident and say, come out with any chest and say, yeah, we're going to go there and, their place playing the way they are at this point in time. It's really hard for me to say, yeah, we'll go and do them. And I hate to say it, but I think I'll take a draw at this point.
Bilal,
as bad as the league position is.
Bilal, you're listening to two Liverpool fans. Obviously, you know my opinion, whatever. But Zuberi's come out with.
Whoa! How is it two Liverpool fans? Who's not a Liverpool fan?
No. I'm saying you two, innit? Like you two.
Oh, okay,
you
okay.
And yeah. I said, no, man. Come on, man. I know you ain't that bad. I know you ain't that bad. You still support Liverpool. I know inside. I know your games, right? I know your games now. But listen, what I mean by that is like Zuberi's coming with trying to manifest it, trying to put it in the air, right? Even though he was very. Do you remember in that first calling show at the start of the season, he wasn't happy that we've won the Charity Shield and the way we're playing. He kind of foresaw this.
He saw what was coming.
He saw what was coming. He was kind of seeing it. I remember Avinash came in the early shows and he was really positive, like me, like in terms of the Charity Shield. It was all good, right? And now look, 9 games into the season, look at the contrast in Liverpool fans. How does it feel like an Arsenal guy, like going into the game tomorrow and seeing Liverpool fans not really looking forward to it? Like someone said, where is it gone, man? There you go. So Nathan says, Grizz, can't lie, you man must be scared shitless for tomorrow. I wouldn't say I'm scared shitless, but pretty much like Avinash. But then I also see where Zuberi's coming from. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if we turn up tomorrow.
Yeah, no,
but,
listen,
but at the moment, it's looking...
Yeah, and I agree with what Avinash has said, because even last week, after that Liverpool-Brighton game, he came on here, I believe, and I said, yeah, that just reminded me of old Liverpool when Klopp first came in and you're having those crazy games. Even the game, remember the Dortmund-Liverpool game, that 4-4 madness. Like all of these sort of games that started at the beginning of Klopp's reign, and I think that just shows Klopp's system, when it's working fully, we've seen what's happened to Liverpool the last 3 years or 4 years, let's say. But when it's not working properly, then you get these crazy scorelines. So I think Liverpool and Klopp just need to embrace that chaos now. Use that chaos, because that's the way Liverpool are going to even get results. If you guys start thinking negative, you guys are going to start falling away even further. But if you guys start being more positive, and I mean by playing your attackers, because where your strength is. If you play like a Firmino, a Diaz, a Salah, and Jota all at the same time tomorrow, I'm going to be there thinking, problems. If we're not careful, those 4 could do a madness to us. And that's what Liverpool now need to start embracing, in my opinion. If you want to turn your season around and get a result. So that's my perspective on the Liverpool side. But as an Arsenal fan, it's the first time in years I've gone into a Liverpool game, a game against Liverpool, and I'm thinking, you know what, we could actually do something here. We could get a win, or we should get a win. Even most of the time, I've been over the last few years thinking, Liverpool, you know what, just write it off. What's the word that they use when it's like a free hit? Like you're playing Liverpool, it's a free hit, man. Just get the game over with. But now that's changed, and that's the first time for me in years that I felt that way. So I know Zub, you're laughing there, and you've got your ways about what you want Arsenal to do tomorrow. But yeah, for me, honestly, it's the first time in years that I'm feeling sort of positive. And Grizz, the fact that you're not telling me Thiago's fit or not, I'm getting even more confident until you confirm what's happening with Thiago. So when I find out, then I'm gonna be even more confident. But we'll see.
Zubair, you're hearing Avinash, right? Say what he said and he'll give his opinion. What is your feeling going into tomorrow? Your real feeling?
Opposite. We need to do what we haven't did in a while. And I'll hold my hand up. I might have caused a little rift or a little divide by being selfish, by defending the owners. And I wasn't defending them because I love them. I was just defending them because if Klopp made 2 poor substitutions, it was never Klopp. Those substitutions were poor. It was, oh, he's doing that because of FSG. And it's like, let's not put him above criticism. So now I've seen Klopp come out with a new formation. Granted, it was against Rangers, but we look good. We actually look good. So he could have been changing things all this time. He could have been making the right decision all this time. But for one reason or another, it wasn't. I don't know if it was the players' availability, injuries. Thiago's fit. Want to put that in there. And but right now, we need to get behind these players and let them know we haven't lost hope. We haven't lost belief. A lot of fans still believe Klopp can fix this. I think given a chance, he will. But he never gave me a lot to hold on to or to stick my chest out on. He never really gave me much because the things he's saying in the press conference, it's almost like he's talking to me. He's telling me, hey, we're going to start setting up to counter teams, not just set up the way I want to set up. And that's something City did very well. City don't care who the opposition is. They just go out there and do their thing. And for the longest, that's how we play. 4-3-3. We're just going to go out there and do our thing. We don't care who's out there. But now teams are specifically setting up to counter us. They're not doing it for other teams. They're like, no, if we set up this way, we get a result from Liverpool. And it's starting to prove those teams right. Teams are actually just setting up in a one-off formation just to beat us. And I don't think we've been reacting to those teams very well. Because a dead team will get a draw from us, go to City and Arsenal and get slapped. And we're like, yo, what's going on? And it's not the other teams are doing well. Is that in that moment, the team just set up specifically for us. Like, I think Arsenal are built to beat us and no one else. And by being in that position, they can get a result from other people. So tomorrow, we need to drop this, control the game. We need to drop this, get at them men, and just sit back and counter Arsenal. Just sit back and counter them. Because they're not built for the counterattack. They're not built to stand against that. And that's how United got something from them. So we just need to drop everything we've been doing and hit them with something fresh, something new. Alisson over the top to Salah. When was the last time we seen that? So we need to see something new or old school in the dominating era when we're just counterattacking City to beat City. We never really dominate City. We just counterattack them and beat them. Trent to Robbo in, just 3 passes, and we're in there scoring. I need to see that tomorrow. So with the fans, I need you guys to outsing Arsenal. I don't care what they're playing on the speakers. Outsing them. Get behind them. Klopp, please, 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 please. Come with something new and refreshing. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at right now. And Avinash, I think I remember you coming on after me, man, calling me something disgraceful about Klopp. Listen, man, I just want to put it out there, not behind your back to your face. Klopp is not perfect. I'm not perfect. FSG isn't perfect. Grizz and BILAL, probably the closest things to perfect. But, you know, we all aspire to be like these men. And BILAL, tomorrow, if Arsenal aren't perfect, I'm coming for you. Coming for you. Keep saying it. I'm coming for you, BILAL. Because I need you in a Liverpool kid saying we should take down City.
Avinash, tomorrow. Sorry. Yeah, go on, BILAL.
Yeah, no. I was just replying to Zubi Avinash. Go.
Yeah. Go on. Look, I mean, team-wise, selection-wise, what are you guys thinking that we should do? How should we go about it tomorrow? Avinash, let you have first dibs, man, on what kind of selection that you would go for.
Yeah, I wanted to back up on those 2 points that BILAL
Mhm.
made
Go
about
for it.
the 4-4-2, right? Yeah, I've been thinking about this about. So I think the 4-4-2 is kind of our only option right now. It's not. Let me make it very clear. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of the sort of double pivot. I think 4-3-3 is the modern system, and it sort of allows for more control, and that's a system that we've been drilling for so many years, and that's what got us all the success. So I'm not a big fan of it, but at this point in time, we don't have the players to execute a 4-3-3. So we have better attackers than we have midfielders. That's a simple fact. And for me, that is a failure of the ownership or whoever made the decision to not sign a midfielder. Because just think about it. I was just thinking about this, right? It's crazy that 7 years into a manager's reign, he's having to adapt to the players that he has. That's not something you do when you've spent 7 years at a club. That's something you do when you're drafted in mid-season. Things are all over the place and you just have to get something quick up and running. So the fact that he's having to do this itself is like, it's really bad, but it's where we are right now. So for me, yeah, it looked solid. It looked the more reserved position that Trent had. I think that helped us. I think in general, there's this idea of Trent as a marauding winger, sort of who overlaps all the time. And actually, he's not that. He's more of a midfielder who's playing at fullback. So I think it makes sense for him to be a little bit more reserved, maybe, and so that he can see much more of the pitch. And, some of what Duberry said about there was, in the 17-18 season, when we were so good, when we were hitting teams on the transition, he would just play that ball on the channel to Salah. So now we have Darwin as well, who's a threat up front. So I think that also worked out well. And obviously having the double pivot, because we really don't have any midfielders anymore. So I think just given the options that we have, it just makes sense that we go ahead with this, at least until we start getting players back. So at this point, that will probably be after the World Cup. So yeah, that's where
Let me ask you this. I agree with everything you said, but I'm going to ask you this, Grizz. You're going to know where I'm coming from with this. The players we have in midfield and in the attack, putting the two in the pivot and just asking them to cover the marauding fullbacks is actually worked better than having a guy sit in there try to mop up the midfield. Because when the midfielders are doing a covering role, like Genie used to just cover the spaces. So when you have two midfielders just covering the spaces, that is kind of where Milner can also shine in the midfield by just being a covering guy and not trying to be in the final third. Because Milner in the final third don't really gives you much. But Milner as a possible double pivot coming on the pitch, I'm actually okay with that. Would you be okay if our midfielder double pivot just covered the spaces versus trying to be in on the attack and just let the four attackers do what they're doing with the marauding fullbacks? Would you agree with that, Avinash?
Yeah, I'm okay with the idea of the double pivot. Probably we need one fullback reserve. So I think typically modern teams, they attack with 5 and defend with 5. And I think of late, we've been almost doing like attacking with 7 and defending with 3. I think that changed. So we had one of the fullbacks a little bit more reserved. So we had 3-2, and then we had a 5 up front. And that's typically how teams either attack in a 3, build up in a 3-2-5 or a 2-3-5. So I think in general, I'm okay with the idea of the double pivot, but not Milner. I think I'm just done with Milner, to be honest, because every time Milner has come on that pitch, we've looked worse. I don't know what it is. I think it's finally, it's time for Milner, I think. I love the guy. I really don't want to say it. I hate to say this, but I think Milner's time has come.
No, it's not. There's nothing. No, you shouldn't hate to say it, because it's so glaringly obvious. Like Bilal, I don't know. I'm trying to think of someone who went past his so-bite day at your club. I don't know. I'm trying to think of in recent times.
Think of a player. We signed. I remember the first player. I don't know, like Lichtsteiner. We signed him from Juve. He was like 35. He was finished.
Yeah, but he wasn't like a long.
But he wasn't our club. Yeah, he wasn't. There's not many. Most of them left, to be honest, or being shipped off.
Yeah, exactly. We're shipped off or gone. But Milner, Milner's not the. I don't blame Milner. Like, he's not meant to be doing this. He knows it. Everyone knows it. It's just the way that word injuries happen again. And then not only injuries happened, we refused to go with just 2, as Avinash says. If we only got few, play different. So that's what we didn't do. We continued to try to find a third one. A third midfielder, and that third midfielder had to be Milner. There was no one else left, unless you're bringing in Bajcetic, which they could have done, I guess. Some people might say that would have been more, what's the word? Future-proofing.
Yeah, it's more positive if you bring on a youngster to maybe fill in an area where there's a weakness in the team. If he turns out to be a really good player, or you show something, then you might have solved a problem in the future. But you have to take a chance on young players. That's the thing. It's a risk. It could go really wrong, or it could go so well that you've solved like a £50 million problem, with some of these young players. It's all a bit of a guessing game, I guess.
David
It is.
Luiz,
It is a
maybe?
guessing game.
Yeah. Yeah, David Luiz, we signed him again. I couldn't. Yes, I couldn't. Some people saying Ozil in terms of someone who, but Milner. This is a rare case. He's like 37 years old. That's why I can't find an example of someone who's 37 or lasted that long at Arsenal in modern times. You know, Milner's done is bad. Yeah.
Can I ask? I don't know if you asked me. I think you asked Avinash, but I don't know if you asked me the same question, Zuberi. But can I? You know the question you asked about you wouldn't mind playing Milner, but giving him a role that like just means covering.
Yeah, because Milner isn't dead 100%. He can do a job. But when you're asking him to be dynamic, that's not Milner. He can do a job.
That's it.
He can do a job. He can stop the leak. But he's not the guy to come in and patch up and give you this modern design. And he doesn't have the final ball sometimes. He doesn't have the connect the final pieces. When I see him in the final third and he gets a ball where he always slips, and it's like, Milner, you know what? I'd rather you be back on the cover.
That's not nice for him as well.
And you know what? It's not playing to his strength. And I think with the two, that is Milner's strength. Just let him cover. Don't ask too much of him. Just have him there cover when Tsimikas go forward. He can do the job on the left side. He can also do it on the right-hand side. So just let him cover it. Milner, your job for today, when you go on this pitch, just cover these spaces. I don't want to see you nowhere near the 18-yard box because you don't have the legs to track back. We don't want you forcing any fouls unnecessarily. We know you're going to give away one or two, but just cover. Just cover the spaces because the formation might look like this. All the players in the opposition half, Milner sitting in between VVD and the other center back. Or Milner sitting in on that Tsimikas space that Tsimikas leaves when he's overlapping Diaz. That is a space that teams usually exploit. But when you have Fab as the only man in the six and Fab goes to the right, when they switch from right to left, Fab is nowhere in that game. He's not in that play. He got bypassed. So if you have a Milner and the double pivot, let's say Hendo and Trent double up on a man, they get beat by Martinelli, one-off touches, fumble through the middle of him, and he's breaking. Milner can cover that space while VVD and the other center back drop back and everybody else is on the recovery. So it's all about just covering the space. It's not a lot to ask of him, but I think Milner with his fitness and his lactate tests over the years should be able to cover the space. Not break up every tackle, but cover that space. Because right now, if you look at any tactical breakdown of the way we get counter, it's nothing but an open space in midfield. And with two players doing the covering, they can share that work. And I think it's a good job for Milner, not to start, but to come on and contain if need be, because we're short in midfield.
I've got a question. Can I jump in here? Is Henderson and Fabinho both fit? Are they both fit for this game? So for me, if I'm Klopp, I'm going to play a 4-2-3-1, Henderson and Fabinho, double pivot and keep it strong in the middle. And that might solve your problems and allow you to go more direct if you play, as I said, a Firmino, Jota, Diaz and Salah. That's the way I would look at it. When Arsenal on the attack, you can let Arsenal have the ball, they'll pass it around, but you guys stay strong, and when you get the ball, you go as quick as you can because you have Trent, you could have a Tsimikas or Robertson on either side helping and actually causing Arsenal problems. For me, I would go with that too. I know Milner might come on and do a little bit of a job here and there, but if Fabinho and Henderson are fit, for me, they should play together. And I'm not sure.
Leave out Thiago?
Yeah, I'd leave out Thiago and I'd play a Firmino instead as like that number 10 sort of player and get Firmino marking a Thomas Partey in there. And Firmino's got the sense and intelligence to kind of do that job. For me, you play Firmino, Jota, mad.
Nah, Bilal, you're trying to get a win. I see what you're doing. Yeah,
bro, I'm being honest. If I was Klopp, that's what I'm doing. I'm going Henderson, Fabinho, solid. And in the attack, I'm going Firmino to connect everything with Jota, Diaz, and Salah. That's a serious team. If I see that, I'm worrying.
Bilal, no shade. But we got Champions League to worry about this season. We're not just going for the league and some other dead trophy. All right. So we need to conserve players and not overwork Thiago, not overwork Hendo. So Milner is gonna come on, but we need him to just do that one job. I hear what you're saying, but we can't burn out our season on Arsenal. And that's why I'm telling you, get the word to Arsenal, tell them to let up off the gas, because we need all the energy we can to go for the quad again. The quad is still on. So we're in there. Big honors, Bilal. It's not some other European trophy, you know what I'm saying? So
Avinash, Avinash, what do you think of Bilal's suggestion, or maybe I don't know, a sabotage attempt
Yeah, that's what
to
I'm
leave
looking.
out to leave out Thiago? But has he got a point for some games? Maybe, I don't know. He's
Yeah.
putting it out there. What do you think?
Yeah, strangely enough, I think this is the kind of game where just sitting back in 2 banks of 4 and counter-attacking is never going to be our game. So this is one of the things that I noticed in the Brighton game, and it sort of brought home to me that we never ever control games off the ball. It's just not something we do. The way we control games is by winning the ball back and keeping it, and that's how we've become the team that we become. So just sitting back, shutting down space the way Tottenham do, we don't train that. So that can never be our default game plan. So we do need some amount of control. We do need somebody who can pass the ball. I think Firmino helps with that. Firmino, you can pass it in the sort of into the final third and it'll stick. So definitely Firmino plays for me. I like the front four, but Thiago has to play just so that we can get some control in the game and be able to pass the ball around and keep the ball, because we are never going to be able to just sit back and counter. That's never going to be our game. So yeah, I don't know if we meant it as a sabotage, but
yeah, I wouldn't imagine you guys will sit back and counter because of the likes of Trent. And if you play the Simicast, for example, as well, who's maybe even more comfortable coming more inside as well and playing in more of the like a midfielder kind of, then you would have more of a structure with even 4 people in there. That's what I'd have in my head as well. Like, it's just, I think that's just something to think about. And maybe if Klopp played that kind of lineup, I would be thinking today's a tough day. But if I see Milner starting, I'm thinking, come on, guys, let's get the win here, man, honestly.
But Avinash, you're not worried about the space, because I hear what you're saying, and you're 100% right about the way we play. But the spaces that we leave when we're doing our great things is spaces that other teams are looking to always exploit. So we also have to have not both hands on that space, but at least an eye or a foot on that space. So we kind of have to be smart in where we go for. We can't just do our regular, because the regular, we've been exposed with the regular. So even if it's just for this one game, I wouldn't mind a boring 1-0 from us, I'll take that.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, all day long.
Snap your hand off, man.
I'll take that. So don't let Bilal gas us up on doing the Gangnam, winning the ball back, coming up short spaces behind Simicast and Trent. That's what Bilal wants.
But Arsenal as well are going to give you probably going to give you a lot of space in behind as well. With the way we play, we're definitely going.
We're not worried about
have
space.
options.
That's why I'm saying. We already know Gabriel is going to leave the door open, so we already know where the door is. Gabriel put a little stick in the door for us.
Avinash, I'm going to get a prediction off you. I have to. I'm sorry. You're going to have to give a prediction. Yeah, I'm sorry. There's no point in not giving a prediction. You have to be strong, my brother. You have to be strong. Give us... Say what you want. Phil, you can give a heart and a head one, but you must come to one.
I'll go 1-1. I think we'll score first and we'll try to hold on, and we'll kind of end up conceding, a bit like that game in 2018, I think, where that game we actually dominated. So I don't think it'll be that good, but yeah, that's my prediction. 1-1.
Excellent. All right. Well, as you said, some may take a 1-1, some may take a point. But let's see how it goes tomorrow, man. Avinash, it's been a pleasure as always, my brother. Take care of yourself. Enjoy. When are you back? When are you going back to?
I'm back end of this month. So yeah, I'll see if I can come on for another show before.
Amazing. Look after yourself.
Yeah. So just one more thing. Sorry, I mentioned Zubairi said something about. I came on a call-in show and said something disgraceful. I'm sorry. I'm not sure.
It might have been you. It was about me defending FSG. I think me and Grizz had a long show on it, and you came and you was like, "Yo." It might have been you, might have been somebody else. I could be wrong, but the person came on after me and was like, "Yo, how dare you question Klopp? Of all he's done for us and stuff like that." It wasn't wrong, by the way. It's just it was just my opinion and your opinion on the day.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think it was me. I'm just trying to clear that up. Yeah, I don't think it was me.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me remember, because I don't forget shit. I remember in the first show, so some of the things Zubairi said were construed as being negative before the ball is kicked and all of that business. And so some people were saying, who's this A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, or a load of explanation? Who's this guy that is talking, like defending FSG and not defending Klopp as much? something along those lines. But who cares, man? It's opinions. Everyone's allowed to say
Yeah,
what
no,
you
but
want.
if it wasn't you, Avinash. Hey,
Yeah, I just want to clear that up. Yeah.
yeah,
No,
no, if it wasn't you, hey, all love, man.
Even if it was, man, all love. It's all love.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's all love. Yeah, that's
Sure,
what I'm
sure.
saying. It's
Anyway,
all love. Either way,
regardless.
it's either way.
Sure.
Enjoy your holiday. Hey, I'm hoping
you,
for a
thank you.
1-0 win for your sake, because that will brighten up your holiday, man. I know it will.
100%.
And if we lose,
Absolutely.
don't worry. I'll be on Bilal. I'll blame Bilal. He's looking for information to give to Arteta. So we move.
We move. Take care, guys.
Yeah.
All right. Zuberi, any last statements to make to rile up the rest of the listeners? Any last minute?
No, you know, I'm gonna switch it up.
takes?
I predicted Arsenal nicking this. I predicted Arsenal nicking this 2-1. But speaking of Avinash, you know what? I will not settle for a loss, because then I'm really gonna be Klopp out. So I'm gonna settle for a 1-1. But I can see us nicking it 1-0. Defender header. Whoever start against Virgil. I think we can do it. You know me, I don't back Milner. So you know where I'm coming from. I think if Milner comes on a pitch and his job is cover the space, don't even go up near their half unless it's a corner kick. And even on the corner kick, sit back. Don't do this short corner thing. Just sit back and cover the space, because they got two threats on the wings in Saka and Martinelli. And those are spaces, Grizz. You know this. We always leave those spaces open by the way we play. So we need someone to look at that space. We need someone to be looking at that. They don't have to stand in there, but just be mindful of that space. And that's not always Trent, unfortunately. So Avinash convinced me. I'm going 1-1. But my head needs a 1-0 win. I need to go to sleep knowing we kept a clean sheet. I need to go to bed knowing Arsenal tried everything they can.
at your club or something. You might get sacked soon from Atletico. You never know.
If we get that 1-0, man, I'm telling you, man, I'm gonna give you your own show on this channel. There you
know another reason.
No. I'm not joking on that shit. Listen to this very carefully, people. If we win tomorrow with a clean sheet, you see this brother here, he is gonna have his own show on my channel, wherever time he wants, because he's out in the USA. So we're gonna fix that up. And people know, Bilal will tell you, and Ohms will tell you, I'm a man of my word. So there you have it.
100%.
Much love, but I need to let you know this. Arsenal are designed to beat us. They got beefed up by our enemy, City, because City know we've been chopping at their heels, and they say, Arsenal, help us out. Get these men off our neck. And that's where Arsenal are right now. So the shame Bilal have talking about we should help them take down City. Bilal is doing that double agent stuff right now, Grizz. I don't like it.
Horse and all that.
I don't like it. So everyone that comes on, get on Bilal. Even if you're an Arsenal fan, get on him for that Trojan horse thing.
Do you know what I mean? What you've done is open up the rest of our eyes and ears and everything. So we're on him for the rest of the show. But Zuberi, as usual, it's been a pleasure, my friend.
It's been love.
Take care of yourself.
Bilal, I don't know what it's been, but it's been interesting tomorrow.
Yeah, man, it'll be interesting. As I said, I'm confident, and you guys are making me more confident. I'm not gonna lie. The more we talk, I'm getting more confident. But let's more callers come on. Let's see how I'm feeling at the end of the show.
All right, Bilal, enjoy the day. Sorry about tomorrow in advance. Grizz, enjoy your weekend, my man.
You're doing too much, but you out of here. Get out. All right. See you soon. Yeah, man, it's a madness, isn't it? Tomorrow, like, you've got positive people. Not when I say positive, like positive, like, you know what I mean? Like people that have a glass half full perception of things, right? Suddenly feeling the nerves and not feeling it. And then you've got the guys that are usually pessimistic, almost having a nothing to lose type mentality. So, yeah, we're going out there. You see how it switches the mentality.
It's crazy how, listen, you got to hold on to something, innit? And tomorrow's all to play for. It's 11 versus 11. And as I said, you guys with the threat you've got on the attack, that's the one thing you've still, despite all the problems in the midfield, and the attack is what Liverpool's got going for them. And if you play to your strengths, who knows what you could do tomorrow.
100%. People, there's 300 of you in here. I hope you have all hit the like. It'll be much appreciated. We've basically discuss Liverpool and Arsenal only at the moment. Feel free to call in. There's some faces that I don't recognize, so I don't know who they're supporting, but it doesn't have to be Liverpool. It can be Chelsea, it can be Blackburn, it can be Manchester United, it can be Barcelona, whatever you want to talk about, your club, your agenda, your opinions. We're here to just help you, direct you in the right direction, and speak your mind. FSG in, FSG out. Arteta in, Arteta out. Whoever you rate Haaland, you don't. This is your calling show, people. Next caller is channel member. I've got to make it clear because then people have been messaging me and saying, "Yo, man, channel members, new callers, priority." That's the drill. Jez is in the building. Jez.
How are you guys? You guys look so happy today because your team didn't play today.
We're enjoying, man, watching the show, reading your comments, man. What you got for us? Chelsea 3-0 today. You're a happy guy, surely.
I'm not as happy as everyone should be, but I'm happy that we won. We needed to win today. Especially when you think Tottenham and Brighton, one of them needed to drop points. Both teams were above us, so we're now above Brighton in the late table. Obviously, they were going to fall away, but they needed to drop points. Tomorrow, you lot are playing, so somebody's going to drop points there. And Man United have to go to Everton, and Lampard has had them 2 games on the bounce. I think tomorrow night, Goodison will probably be rocking. So that'll be sticky for them as well. So, yeah, we needed to win today. But the performance, I saw Matisse's review. I'm happy. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy. But I'm not over the moon because with Milan, they had a lot of injuries. To be fair to them, their injury, I don't think too many of their injuries start for them on a regular basis. They had kind of their spine. I mean, Tomori was in, they were missing their goalkeeper, who's a big player for them, but Tonali is a wonderful player. Benacer is a lovely player. I don't know how to say that the number 10, the youngster who's 6'4", who played number 10 for them, he was a good player. Yeah. Leao was really, really good. I hope between Wednesday and Tuesday that Bowley pays the money for him because that's a player that we need over and above Nkunku. So yeah, all in all, happy, content, but you're just keeping it moving. I'm not for this whole process thing, but that's what it is now, isn't it? So here we are.
So I switched off your game when I realized, not switched off, but I lost concentration when I saw no Reece James because I had him in my FPL and that pissed me off. So I don't know if Bilal had him. Did you?
I had him in, but last week I put Mount in.
We all had him in.
I kept him in, but I think he got 2 assists today, Mount. So
Mount. I had Mount in a few weeks ago, and I gave up on him. Do you remember I had Havertz? I had a Havertz in for a couple of weeks, and now he started scoring. This is the curse. This is normal. But your lineup, there was a bit of noise around your lineup.
Yeah, you made 7 changes.
So what was the thinking behind that? You think just rotation? Because it was on paper, it looked kind of weak. On paper.
Yeah. The thing for me is, at the end of the day, I think any team that Chelsea put on the pitch can't be weak. I've seen us with the transfer ban and Lampard still finish top 4. So with the Wolves side that's just lost their manager, I didn't think we would get that new manager bounce that Brighton gave Liverpool last week, purely because the manager wasn't in, whereas Brighton had their manager not throughout the international break, but at least for the last week of the international break. So they had a few, caretaker guys on the sideline. Diego Costa started his first game, didn't get a sniff.
How was he? How was Diego Costa?
Oh, you got a standing ovation. You got to know Diego Costa is he's
down.
Yeah, I'll never forgive Conte for that. I love Conte for winning us the league, but falling out with Diego. I just seen a clip now on Twitter. He gave an interview now, post-match interview. Still doesn't know how to speak English. Got subbed off on the 60th minute. He walked off on the opposite side of the pitch and did a half lap of honor, and they were singing his name, and the crowd was going crazy, and just saying thank you for 2 Premier Leagues essentially, because both seasons that we won the Premier League, he scored 20 goals for us. So, and he's been the last vocal point menace that we've had, that we haven't replaced him, obviously, till now, till Aubameyang, which obviously brings me to Chelsea. Very, very happy. Somehow Potter has got Havertz amongst the goals. Oba is already amongst the goals, which any real football person or anybody that knows anything about football knows that if Oba is going to get chances, you know, he's going to get goals. I was a bit worried because he didn't start. And I was like, you know, back-to-back goals, like we're just getting over the facial injury and stuff. You'd think you'd want to play for rhythm. But like Graham said, obviously he has to rotate the squad. Now that we have to beat Milan again, especially if we've got any ambitions of topping the group, then we have to beat them in the week. And by the time he was making his substitutions, it was 2-0. And Broja also deserves minutes, and he scored his first goal. Diego Costa-esque as well. I don't know if you, Bilal, I'm sure you would know. Do you know Tiggs on Twitter, who does all the Chelsea comps? He's been doing them for years. But
I'm
now
not familiar
I think
with him, but send me a link and I'll give it. Yeah,
yeah, you've definitely seen them. Basically, he's a guy, you never see his face, but he makes like YouTube comps and Twitter comps and things like that. And then when a player's about to get announced, he'll make like a compilation for the club and stuff like that. And he did like a mashup of Broja's goal today and a similar goal that Costa scored against Leicester. So hopefully, if Broja can just be half the player that Diego Costa is. I mean, he seems a pretty like down to earth. I mean, he's from Albania and stuff, so you know he seems pretty down to earth and stuff like that. Whereas I would love, he's such a big kid and he's so fast and he's such a handful. If he had that Diego Costa bite in him, you know, it could take him to another level. But I just wanted to speak on the team, like you said, Grizz and Potter, the 7 changes. I still think he doesn't know his best team.
No, I think so too.
Yeah,
what is your best team? What is your best team? Right
for the
now,
way,
because it's interesting.
Yeah, for the way Potter wants to play, in my opinion.
No, what's your best team with the personnel that you've got?
Yeah, the way I look at it is the manager's in charge now. So basically, I think he wants to play the 3-3-3 and then the 1. So it's basically a 5-3-2. So let's just call it a 5-3-2, because I mean, if you watch the full Chelsea game today, I had never watched Brighton, but everybody kept saying that they're very fluid, and you don't necessarily know what formation they're playing at times. And that was very evident today. So my best team would obviously be Wesley's injured now, so that kind of changes it for me. I think it would be a back 3 of Thiago, Cucurella, and actually Koulibaly on the right. Now that Wesley's out, would be Koulibaly on the right. I think he's going to need a season, Grizz. Like, for me personally, he's on fraud watch. He's going to make a big mistake in some big game for us at some point. Yeah, bro.
I've been saying this.
Like, everybody's hyping him, and it's, you know, like how everyone was like, oh, Lukaku's technically gifted now, his game is all around, and then he came back and it was the same thing. It's giving me the same vibes. And when he gave that interview where he said, like, in Serie A you think and then you run, and then in the Premier League you run while you're thinking, I think he's still struggling with that, because often he gets the ball and then he doesn't necessarily know what his next pass is. And I think that will just come with time, especially with Thiago Silva and Azpilicueta around. You know, and him being a senior figure, there's going to be loads of time for him to learn, like at least for this season, because next season he's got to take over. He's got to become what Thiago Silva is for us now. And it was interesting because Chalobah actually started in the sweeper role, and Koulibaly was out slightly to the left, and Aspi was to the right of him. And then in the second half, Chalobah's distribution wasn't up to point, and Koulibaly moved into the sweeper role and was pinging it around the pitch. So he will come good for us. His age thing, I don't think it's a factor. He's African at the end of the day. His real age is probably 35 or something, who knows. But he don't look like he's getting on. Like when Thiago Silva first came, you could see, okay, there's a problem there in terms of his age. You can't play week in, week out, whereas Koulibaly's a machine. So I'd go with that back 3. And then the midfield 3 is a sticky one, because, again, we haven't seen Kante under Graham Potter. Mount's obviously a mainstay. He was on the money again today. I know he gets a lot of hate because he looks terrible for England, but like a lot of players do.
Grizz,
You're on mute.
Sorry, I don't know why he gets hate. It's mad. I don't know why. This guy is such a good player.
I get it, because when he broke through, it was kind of like, you're the chosen one, you're the chosen son, you're Lampard's son, you're
okay.
You're the
It's
guy.
not even just that. It's not even just that. At the international level, when the game most of the times a little bit more slow, right? Player like Mount, sometimes his quality doesn't match up. For me, if you play the Maddison more, if you play the Maddison and you play the proper midfield that Southgate can't do with the likes of a Foden, you got Maddison, you got players with real quality,
man.
Then that's
so
the
even
reason.
As harsh.
Listen,
like judging him off England, like the Southgate tax is real.
Is real.
As I'm saying, the likes of Mount in the international scene now, where the game is more about your technical ability, that's sometimes where he's going to struggle, because he's not like a Foden, he's not like a Jack Grealish. But when it's a Premier League game with the intensity, with the, you've got a beast getting around the pitch, then you can do something. That's where Mount can thrive. And that's why under Potter, I think he can be good, because he can play multiple positions. That's why I thought if they were saying he was going to be sold by Chelsea, I said, mate, if Liverpool got him, what a signing that would be. But in the international scene, it's a different, sort of game. And that's where a player like Mount can struggle, in my opinion.
Yeah, I hear you. Especially he's his biggest weakness at times, because as a footballer, he's technically sound. I always think, like, sometimes I always have this think, like, if he was under Klopp, it would be very interesting, because he's got Henderson's engine, and then he's super, super technically proficient. So when it comes to ball progression, that's for me his best quality, is when he's closer to the back four and actually progressing the ball through the midfield. The problem we have, like last season, I think he got like 27 or 29 GA for us. So because we're so dead up front before the Aubameyang and Potter and everything that's happened now and the system change, he's had to play up there to compensate, because he's technically sound to play anywhere. But yeah, I'd play him in the midfield with probably, when everyone is fit, Jorginho and Kante, even though Loftus-Cheek's been good for us. And then the Kovacic thing, again, it would be a toss-up for Kovacic and Jorginho. Kovacic is obviously a lovely player and a wonderful player for us. But again, a lot of Chelsea fans, like in the final third, he still hasn't developed that game. He's always been really, really good in the build-up, in his Inter days, in his Madrid days. But the final third, when it comes to making the difference, like for instance, he was a young player, and he had the opportunity that we see Valverde having in the Madrid side now. And I would say technically, if we were playing a 5s possession game, Kovacic would be my first pick. But Valverde makes the difference. They both have the same engine, but it's just in that final third, Valverde, in the Champions League final, you saw it firsthand, Grizz. He makes the difference. And then the next line, obviously Reece as the one wing back. And then he did the funny thing where remember in his first game, he had Sterling on the left wing. And then prior to this game, the last 3 games, we've had Chilwell in that position and Sterling a lot more closer to the striker, because Havertz wasn't cutting it. So for me, I would still have Chilwell out there, because he's a goal threat. Funny enough, as much hate as he gets, Marcus Alonso would be perfect right now for Potter, because on the left-hand side, as a goal threat, he's a bigger goal threat than Cucurella. And I believe, like, Sterling is good. All our wingers are good, but between Chilwell and now Alonso, who's no longer here, but they are more of a goal threat on a consistent basis when they're in the final third. So I'd have Chilwell up there. I'd have Sterling and Aubameyang close to one another up top in my 3-5-2. That's how I would have it. But right now, I think he's just trying to find out his best players, and obviously, just by his demeanor, like his first Champions League game, you could see he was very like mesmerized in the week when they asked him what was it like, your second Champions League game against AC Milan. And I have no problem saying this, just don't say this in public. But he was just like, obviously it's a lovely game. Chelsea AC Milan is a wonderful, wonderful football fixture in the Champions League to be a part of. And as a human being, it's like, it's oh so real. And I think as much experience as he has and as intelligent as he's coming across, at the end of the day, he's walking into a changing room, and instead of telling Webster what to do, he's got to tell Thiago Silva what to do. And I think Potter is very lucky that he is coming into Chelsea now, because I think if it was, he's lucky he has Azpilicueta, Thiago Silva, and I would say Koulibaly in the changing room to set the tone for the rest of the young players. But if it was, let's say, this team now, and you replace those senior heads with Lampard, Terry, Drogba, Cech, I don't know if he would have the same impact, because Villas-Boas also came in, promising young coach, and but again the personalities clashed. But other than that, I'm happy. Gallagher was good again today. He's not my favorite, but he was good again today. And as long as Graham Potter can continue to improve, and he's already better. One thing that he's doing better than Tuchel is that he's identifying the profiles. And even though the formation is not set, all the players are picking up spaces where they are comfortable in. And
that's key. That's key. That's what Potter does.
That is very,
Brighton.
very key.
Guys like McAllister are playing 6 different positions. If you check them out of different positions he's played at Brighton. And at Chelsea, as I said, you guys have so many players who can play multiple roles. And I think that's going to be really interesting. I think the midfield is going to be interesting because Kante now, I think he can leave on a free this summer, I believe. And that area of the pitch needs to be upgraded or replaced, or just add more energy and more technical ability, more players that can play football. You look at the way Brighton play. Of course, they don't have the players Chelsea have, but still, you're going into that model where you want to be that full-on possession-based, fluid outfit.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be, I think Chelsea are going to end up becoming exciting to watch from boring Chelsea. Chelsea, for me, over the last 20 years, probably been winning trophies, yes, but not in the most glamorous way. Potter, he could win you trophies, but you guys could start playing some really nice football. I want to see interesting things from it. I don't know about you guys. Raheem Sterling, for me, I feel like I like him on the right-hand side. I'd love him to kind of go back there. I'm a fan of... I don't mind him on the left. Don't get me wrong. He can do a job there. But there's something about Sterling when he's on the right-hand side. I feel like he offers... I don't think it maybe
he's like an old school... He's like an old school winger, isn't he? Like he can go on the outside. How many wingers do we say go on the outside these days? Every winger is in inverted... Ousmane Dembele...
Yeah, he can do both. He can do right, left.
Who else? I'm thinking.
Leroy Sané is another guy. That's why that Sané, Sterling, Aguero attack was probably City's best attack in recent years, because of how like just dynamic it was, how the right foot on the right side, the left foot on the left side, and the pace that they have and the intelligence. That's why I think if at this age you move Sterling back to that right hand side, let's say, and he's got the experience of playing on the left and even playing as a false 9 at times, I think he just become... Again, he might even go up another level again. So for me, I think Potter's got so many options, so many other players we can say he could actually try him in this position. Oh, he could try him in. That's what Chelsea have, and that's the kind of squad that they've built. That's why even today, yes, they've rotated the squad. Yes, the squad kind of looks okay. Maybe on paper looks a bit weak, but the thing is, because of the players and the different roles they can actually occupy, it gives a manager like Potter, who's tactically flexible, just so many options. So for me, to keep watching out for Chelsea. I think they're going to be an interesting little thing developing this season. Have one more transfer window where they have Todd Bowley and his group spending the cash. That Leipzig defender, they tried to put an 80 million euro bid in recently. I think next season, Chelsea, they might be back, like fully maybe doing something. So
Are you back next season, Jezza, or are you back this season? Or...
I was looking at while my camera was off and stuff, I was watching the Newcastle highlights, and then I saw that they now 5th in the table after everyone was
Newcastle.
playing
So people were saying, "No, you're not serious." I said, "I'm serious."
Yeah, and they've had a similar transition to us, right, in terms of the takeover and stuff. And at the end of the day, we all know Eddie Howe is just he's there. He's the Mark Hughes. When City got taken over, they got Mark Hughes in, and they were still bringing in big players, but Mark Hughes was just there, steady the ship, and get them up the table until they got into Europe, and then they progressed and so on with Mancini and Pellegrini and whoever. And I was thinking, I'm not cutting him short, and I'm not saying he's not capable, but what happens if Graham Potter is that for us right now? Do you understand? I know he's got a 5-year deal, but in 3 years' time, he could go and a better manager could come in, whoever that is at the time. But right now, I don't think we're back. I still think we can pick up something. He's got no excuse. Like for me right now, the way I see it, again, I had this conversation with the Uber driver today, actually. And everybody's on this thing where you need to have a process. It needs to take you 2 or 3 years for you to build something sustainable. And in my humble opinion, the way I see it is, I don't think the sustainable part comes from continuation of management when they're not performing, or I think it's purely on investment. Because when I look, we had Mourinho who did back-to-back, and we did Ancelotti who did back-to-back. Mourinho's second time, he didn't do a back-to-back, and Conte's season as well, after winning it, he didn't retain the title. And I don't think it's because we're chopping and changing. I simply believe, again, after winning the league, like you look at City, after winning the league, they invested well and correctly, and their signings actually came off. And you need that continuous investment. So Alex used to do it. You know, he'd win the league and he'd go, Carrick, that's mine. Then he'd win a league and he'd go, Berbatov, that's mine. Or you'd need something to take him over the line, you'd go, Van Persie, that's mine. Whereas I don't think Chelsea, I mean, after winning the league, we had Bakayoko come in to replace Matic. You know, Costa left, Morata came in, John Terry retired, David Luiz fell off, and it was just all a mess. I just think it's on the investments. I don't think we're back, especially when I look, okay, it looks like Nkunku's going to come in, hopefully, touch wood, that he's going to come in. And then hopefully Declan Rice can come in as well. That'll be massive for us.
Please take him, please. I'm tired of these Arsenal fans, man. They're saying, let's sign Rice. I don't need that in my club. So you guys...
No. Because today there was a time, and another player which I believe we should have got, because we missed out on Tchouameni and Grizz. I think we all missed up. We missed a boat on that, especially now with Arthur being injured for the season. That Mateus Nunes, he's a quality player, you know. I'd never seen him play until today. And even though Wolves didn't do much and he didn't do much, real recognize real. You know what I mean? You can see if set player is in a team. I mean, you could say this for every player, but if he's in a team with better players around him, he could cause some serious damage. Like
he won't be there. He won't be there next year. He won't be there.
Yeah, I don't know how
he didn't really want to go to Wolves. He didn't want to go to Wolves. He was holding out for another move the whole time. But then at the end of the day, he had to move somewhere and having to be Wolves. But in a few years, or 1 year, 2 years, he'll be out again.
His ball carrying is incredible, and that's where I think we need Declan. Today he skipped past Jorginho 3 or 4 times. Everyone skips past Jorginho, but today 3-4 strides. And he was away from Georgie, and his ball carrying is intense, and he's got a bite about him, which I think if we had signed him, like I think young players like Mount and Gallagher, they could have taken that off him. But yeah, next season in terms of being back, I don't know. I'd like to challenge next season. I'd definitely like to challenge next season, especially if they're serious about. When I just look at the players that we linked with, I mean, we've already moved so fast from Nkunku. I don't know, Grizz, maybe you'll know better than me. But he's done that secret medical or whatever, and things are ready to rumble. And then obviously the long saga that we've had with Declan Rice.
So I done a show with the great Julien Laurent from ESPN.
The 90-min one.
Yeah, so I was speaking about the Nkunku. I was speaking about the Nkunku situation, asked him about it, and he says there's nothing signed. There was no medical for Chelsea. It was just a routine medical that he done for his own insurance purposes. And then what's happened or possibly perceived to have happened is Chelsea have kept an eye on it to see how those results came out, to gauge a better understanding of his medical situation history. So it's like a heads up kind of thing. Nothing is signed. He hasn't agreed. It's like personal terms have been agreed, but he's saying that Chelsea are favourites, but he's going to speak to a few other clubs as well. So let's see how it goes. Jezza, it's been wonderful, man. We've got to keep it moving. I just had to look at the time.
No worries.
We've got a few people to get on. Thank you. Who are you saying that to?
To
though?
who?
Who are you saying that exactly? Who are you saying that to?
He's supporting
No,
Newcastle,
I'm just
100%.
gonna be in the back,
No,
feet
no.
up, popcorn
Speak your truth.
out.
Speak your truth.
Either
You're an
way.
Arsenal hater. No, speak your truth. Speak your truth.
No, I'm
Say
not
you're
an
supporting
Arsenal
Liverpool.
hater. I've got no reason to hate on Arsenal. Arsenal have done
no.
nothing but bring me joy in my life. I would
Alright.
love Arsenal to lose so that they would be humbled,
Oh,
because
thank
it's
you.
annoying seeing them on social media, especially like this abusive relationship that they've been in with Xhaka. And now that he's given them 8 good games in 6 years, and for the fact that since you've signed him, you haven't qualified for the Champions League, all of a sudden we're going to qualify for the Champions League. But another Liverpool meltdown for RedFellas tomorrow night would be lovely.
Get out
Would
of
also
here,
be
man.
lovely.
Get out of here. Get out of here, man.
This
All
guy's
right.
hating either way. He's hating either way,
Take care.
man.
Take it easy.
Bye-bye.
Take care, man.
Yeah, man. People want to see meltdowns, man. What is it, man? People want to see meltdowns all the time, man. Huh? Like you guys, like your fan base, like built its name on fucking meltdowns, right? Now people want to see meltdowns.
I had a long time to stew and brew, you know. So
let's see. I should have started some comments, but let's see if we can get through some of the quick comments. Time to get rid of Jorginho? No, I think so. I think he's a hindrance for Chelsea. I think the majority of the fan base, not really massive fans. You a Jorginho fan?
I do rate him as a player, but probably it's time to move on. Him and Kante, but probably need to be moved on. Fresh blood coming to the team. I would say.
Sleeping Dragons has smashed the like button, people. Yeah, man, we're into the last 20 minutes of the show, so let's keep it moving, people, and let's smash that like button. Let's see if we can get over 250 likes. We're nearly there. Come on, let's keep this going. Get that dough says, at this point in time, we can only congratulate Klopp for giving City something to worry about in this league. Unfortunately, it can't continue year after year unless he's given all the needs and more. People just obviously, despondent almost. Arsenal are holding out, people. Arsenal are holding up this title race, man.
Klopp, give the baton and the instruction manual of how to try and beat Pep to Arteta tomorrow, please. That's what we need.
Yeah, I don't know, man. If it's gonna be laugh my ass off AFTV and chill the original tomorrow, I don't know. It depends, man. It depends what happens tomorrow, man. Exactly. All right, let's get the next caller in, man. It's Quasi. Let's get Quasi into the building. Quasi, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well, brother. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. What's happening? How are you?
Not much, man. BILAL, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good.
Yeah, your second post on Twitter, you becoming very controversial these days. Huh?
What did he say?
What did I say? Twitter's not a serious game, guys.
He's been making a lot. Grizz, he's your boy, but he's been making a lot of job behind your back about Liverpool.
Chris Wallace, man. You can see, man.
I mean,
go on. What did he say?
What did I say?
I would have to go back and search a few of them. But the man is already talking about Saliba being the number 1 center back. I mean, there's a few of them.
No. I did a combined 11 today, and that got some people going.
And right now, I have only like maybe 5 minutes. So I'm not going to waste my time on bringing the man down. But tomorrow, I'm excited about tomorrow. I know a lot of fans are a little bit worried, but I like when Liverpool plays great teams or good teams, because that's when we play better. Forget about Napoli. That's our Aston Villa of the 7-2. So once in a year, we do certain things like that. But I'm optimistic about tomorrow. I think if Klopp plays the formation he did against Rangers, we will cause a lot of problems. But when it comes to Liverpool, the frustrating thing about Liverpool is we're just not playing well. That is the whole thing. We are not playing well. If we play well, I don't see any team, even with our current players, if we start playing well, not too many teams can beat us. So that's why my optimistic comes from. But Arsenal is doing well. You're playing some very, very nice football. It's very pleasing on the eye. But I still see 2 concerns on your team. One is the counter-attack. I think you guys mentioned that earlier. And 2, when the opposition plays well, you guys struggles. And that's why I was so upset with Spurs when the first goal went in and they started playing, stringing a few passes together. They scored. And then after that, Kante comes off the second half and then put him back into the bus. It didn't make sense to me. So with Liverpool, if we are able to hold the ball, we don't have to have 60% of the ball. We just have to not lose the ball like we have been in a couple, these weeks. If we hold the ball properly, you guys are going to struggle. And
that's where it'll be interesting. That's the battle there. The midfield is going to be key. But as I said, that's why I be saying to you guys, like, if you play with that 4 attackers kind of thing that you've been doing, like a 4-2-3-1 shape, in my opinion, would probably be best for an away game and playing to your strengths. Then I think it could be a serious game, man. Serious.
Well, you said you want to play the same formation. Do you want to say this? Do you want to play the same personnel, Quasi, or do you want to play the same formation but with a different personnel?
I mean, we're not going to tell him that Thiago is coming. So let's pretend there's a makeshift of a Thiago type of player in the holding. I will go with what.
But let's just say everyone's fit. Not everyone, but we know. Okay, we know Naby's not fit. We know Ox is not fit. Okay. We know Robertson's not fit. Let's assume everyone's fit. What are you picking?
I will swap Bobby for Nunes for about 55, 60 minutes and then bring him in. Because the reason why I'm doing that is because Bobby and Jota tends to have a wonderful day when they play against Arsenal. So I want to go with that. You don't want to break that momentum because they get, when you have a favorite team that you like to play against, 90% of the time you are going to play very well against them. So as a coach, you don't want to break that momentum. Now, if it's not working, then yes, bring Nunes in ASAP. Don't wait till 88 minutes. Then what's he going to do? So the thing with me is the 4-2-3-1 formation is like, I'm a big advocate for that. The reason why is it's a modern 4-5-1 formation. It's easy to play, even when you don't need specialized players to play that formation. 4-3-3, you need specialized players. You need a Thiago and a Henderson combined, basically finding a Steven Gerrard or KDB to play those middle three. It's very hard to find those type of players, especially these times. So with 4-2-3-1, Thiago, Henderson, they complement each other. You just need a number 10, which I believe we have, 2.5. Jota is one number 10, but in that formation, you don't really need a number 10, i.e. Muller. He scored a lot of goals. Even Lampard, even though people think it was a 4-3-3, but it was a 4-2-3-1 under Mourinho. It's just that Lampard sneaks in at the end and Drogba holds the ball for him, and he scored a lot of goals for that. So, but your boy Cavallo, Grizz, can play the number 10 easily. Bobby can play the number 10 easily. And if we want to dare somebody, we could even bring Fabinho Henderson as a pivot and put Thiago as a number 10. The man got techie for this.
But are you back to the lineup for tomorrow? Are you anyhow? Have you got any thoughts of bringing Konate in for Matip, or are you good to go with Matip? Considering that you've got Rangers on Wednesday and then you've got City away on Sunday again. Are you playing Matip all three?
I'm leaning towards bringing Konate in. The only slight worry that I have is he hasn't played in a long time, and we playing against a very, very good team. So you don't want to set him up for, low confidence so early. So I will probably go with Matip and then have Konate play against Rangers. And as a matter of fact, I will even sub VVD and give Gomez another chance to get his confidence back up and play those
against Rangers. Against Rangers.
Yeah, let him get his, let him give him another chance to get his confidence back. So with Arsenal, let's go with what we have been doing. Matip,
and then the two in midfield.
I'll go with Thiago and Henderson. Reason why is we need somebody who can control the midfield. And then you need somebody who could run, which is Henderson. But the good thing about the 4-2-3-1 is Henderson doesn't have to run all over the place. He could just take one half. I believe somebody put a heat map of Henderson against Rangers where he ran a lot, but he was only half of the field running a lot compared to his 4-3-3 where he's all over, same thing with Thiago.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And then it also helps Trent because then Trent only has to pick up a couple runs that he has to make overlapping. He doesn't have to go all the time.
Interesting. Bilal, if like Quasi says we come with that formation, it will be something different, right? In terms of how you guys handle it or deal with it, or you want. Do you think we will go like that? Do you think we will come with a different approach as opposed to our normal 4-3-3? Match you guys up in three with three. Odegaard, Partey, Xhaka have been, very consistent. You know your lineup. They know their roles. Will it change if we change?
Just now, having a thought, and I just thought of last year's game against Liverpool, and Fabinho and Thiago in one of those games. I can't remember, it was so good. I think it might be the Anfield game, and they were so good that day. And we obviously playing in a free in midfield, but because of the situation Liverpool found themselves in, and the midfield is clearly not at the powers it was just last season. For me, as I keep saying, I as a manager would like a Fabinho, who I know who's been struggling, but he's mainly been struggling because he's been like the only guy who's having to do like 100 things. It's hard for him. But if you stick him with a Henderson now, who's got the energy, as Kwasi says, to run around, get tackles in, he's not a bad footballer. He can pass the ball. People saying that he can't pass the ball. I think that would actually cause Arsenal a problem. Then now it's an option. You could actually, put Thiago further forward, not play like a free. But for me, I'd rather go with a proper, someone who's actually a 9.5, 10 Firmino, and then go like that. For me, that would threaten me, and I'd think, you know what? That Liverpool team there and that midfield would get us thinking more about how we're going to actually try and break you down and control the game. Because if you can because Arsenal, everything good that comes from Arsenal's in midfield. If you watch Arsenal, it's Thomas Partey. That's the guy. You got to find a way to stop him. And if you can find a way to stop him, you're going to stop at least 50% of Arsenal's build-up and threat, like in the middle. So that's what I'd be looking at, is that if I was a manager, in my opinion.
How about sort of the strike force, like Kwasi suggesting Bobby play Bobby playing in the Jota role? Did you say?
Yeah, number 10, and then
Jota replace Nunes, and then keep Salah and Diaz.
Yeah,
would that pose you problems? Because to me, that would pose you a lot of problems.
That is scary. That's a scary attack.
It's scary in attack, but would we have enough going back in transition? If you're saying Thiago and Henderson, they're not the quickest, and neither is Fabinho, obviously. But it's intriguing, man, because
Salah and Diaz would have to be more disciplined in defense. In transition, you probably go to a 4-4-1-1 or 4-4-2 and defend like that. That's to be honest, Arteta did that for a while last season. Arsenal playing a 4-4-2, Smith Rowe and Saka, they're attacking players, yes, on the left and the right. And now you can see the way Saka and Martinelli play really high and wide when Arsenal dominate the game. But when Arsenal were actually struggling, trying to find a new way of playing, we played that 4-4-2, and Smith Rowe and Saka helped the two in the middle. And that got us a lot of wins and clean sheets. And I think if Liverpool did something like that with the players that you have of a higher quality than Arsenal had, let's say, at that stage, come on, like, serious. That could be a problem. And because your midfield has been the issue. And you need to kind of set that balance.
Just one of the last few questions I want to ask you about Robertson. Do you think he'll be a miss tomorrow? Tsimikas, I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to give my opinion. What do you think? Tsimikas, okay? You good to go against Saka, who's been in very good form as well? You okay with that side?
Yes, Saka is gonna cause problems. But the good thing is we got VVD on the side. So maybe VVD can tell him, don't overrun yourself, because then Saka will take advantage of that. Now, the reason why I like the 4-2-3-1 is because then Thiago will have to give Odegaard, I always mess up that name, something to think about. Because the last time we played Arsenal and Odegaard was at no-show is because he had to chase the playmaker on our team. And his defensive role is a little bit touchy when it comes to that. And then Xhaka and Henderson will cancel each other out. Now, Partey will have to come up a little bit to help a little more on the attacking side, which will leave a hole in the back, which Bobby, nobody finds a pocket in the hole than Bobby. The only person I think about is Benzema. But then when it comes to transition, like you were saying earlier, Grizz, and before I go there, let me answer your question. Bobby will be a miss. Bobby's always a miss. I mean, let's be honest, top 5 left back in the world. He hasn't been playing well, but when he's on, come on, who can you find better than him? So I will say Bobby will be a miss, but Tsimikas have proven that he's up to the task. a lot of times, you know. But the transition part is the 4-2-3-1 allow you to have players everywhere. Because 4-3-3, everybody's going. 4-3-3 is an attacking formation. Everybody goes forward. And when you don't have the legs chasing the ball back, as you have seen in the past 8 weeks, it hasn't been beautiful for Liverpool. Now, the 4-2-3-1, you cut the field in half. And if the ball is on the right side, then everybody on the right side is taking care of what's going on, either on attack or defense. But then if we lose the ball up top and they switch the ball, you still got at least 3 people on that side to be able to hold the ball for the other team to, you know, the other side to come back. And I know everybody says Rangers and Rangers. Guys, how well did we play against Fulham? And I believe Rangers are better than Fulham, bar, you know, the striker. Rangers came at us. They came at us and they realized that, wait a minute, Liverpool's passing the ball a little bit better, so we just chasing the ball. You know, back in the day, coming at Liverpool is at your own peril. Now, Liverpool is not playing well. It causes us not to be able to pass the ball well. But when Rangers came at us, the 4-2-3-1 allowed Henderson to just sit. He didn't have to be running all over the place. And when he makes a left, Thiago's right there on a square pass. Rather than the 4-3-3, everybody just spread out. And if you make a mistake, your center back wide open. And it also allows us to still play the high line, which is something that Arsenal is also doing. So the VVD long balls is going to be beautiful. You know, so I think this formation will help us with the passes. And I think, Grizz, you even made a comment on Twitter when we play Rangers, and you said, I think it's either you or Blue Chip, who said the fluidity of the passes was way, way better than we have the entire season this year. You know, and Arsenal's going to play well. I don't care what anybody says. What we need as Liverpool is to play well. And if Liverpool play well, let's be honest, our 11 is better as a player than Arsenal's 11. So if both teams plays well, not that I'm talking trash with BILAL, but if both teams play well, you know, so that's what I'm looking for. If Liverpool plays well, this game is going to be beautiful. Emirates is going to be open.
But this is the thing, Kwasi. If we play well, when was the last time we played well? When was the last time we played well? I'm sorry, I'm not. Maybe call me harsh, but my standards are far higher. We didn't play well. I don't count Rangers. I don't. That's just me. When did we play well in the league?
This year, none.
It's very.
Bournemouth 9-0. You're not giving yourself any credit.
We didn't play well.
Okay.
Our chances.
Okay.
Just for the scoreline.
Me personally, and everyone's different. Me personally, I thought we played well in the first half against Crystal Palace. I thought we were unlucky. I thought I'm struggling after that.
I mean, I'll give you Ajax. We play well.
Yeah, okay.
I'll give ourselves maybe a 7. We play
but
well,
Ajax, you know? Right now, to be honest, they are struggling.
Claire's right. Charity Shield were fantastic.
Charity Shield, we were talking. I was like, yo, Salah looks good. Everything's looking. I was thinking Liverpool were ready for the season. Mad how things change so quick.
I don't know. I'm struggling, guys. Tell me here. Tell me where. Tell me if I'm being harsh. When else have we played well? Brighton at any stage? No. About 10 minutes maybe in the second half.
And the first half, the last like 20.
Last 20. Okay. I can't think of anything else.
I mean,
Man United, even when we were chasing, no, nothing.
Even the Newcastle game, it wasn't great. Like, it wasn't the best.
Newcastle, there may have been
spots.
Yeah, patches of hair. Arsenal, we're going to have to be good to beat them.
Yeah.
I hear you, Kwasi. I hear your positivity. And I know what you're saying is if we play good, we will beat Arsenal, regardless of what Arsenal do. If we play good. But at the moment, we haven't played good. And it's game week 10 tomorrow?
Well, 9 for us, I believe.
8 for us, I think, right?
I can't. Yeah, let me have a look.
I think 9 for us, yeah.
Something like that.
Because we are 2 games behind,
Yeah, it'll be 8 for Liverpool and 9 for Arsenal tomorrow. So, yeah, you've got an extra game waiting.
And And so maybe Kwazi's right. Maybe we need to go brave again. Maybe we need to fuck off this. And I'm frustrated. I don't mean bin it off the 4-3
I get
position,
you. No,
but just for something different, shock element, surprise element. Because Bilal, we know your team. We can close our eyes and ears and everything. We know your team. Your team's settled. The only dilemma is going to be Zinchenko or Tierney. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I saw today Zinchenko wasn't in training or something like that. There's a doubt about Zinchenko right now. And Tierney came off 70 minutes. But apart from that, that's the only real position that right now is a question mark.
Rafa's right. We're going to have to be 10 out of 10 to beat this current Arsenal team at the Emirates because they're smoking. They're smoking hot. But it's a game of football and it's a huge game of football. And we're used to playing huge games of football. I'm not sure Arsenal are ready to play huge games of football. That's the only thing.
That's why this is big. This is why, for me, I'm looking at this game. And I keep saying it's a big game. It's a turning point for, even though Arsenal, yes, we've won many games. But yes, we lost to United. But this is the game where if you beat Liverpool, that have been the team for the last 5-6 years, and you do it well, that's the statement now. That's when people start believing that, okay, serious. Even Man City will probably look at, oh, they beat Liverpool. Okay. Now it's serious. Not you beat Tottenham and whoever else before that. Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest. I'm on that bandwagon. I'm on that bandwagon. You know me. I'm a big supporter of Arteta. Not a big supporter, but I saw it.
Backed him. You've backed him. You saw what he was doing.
I saw it early, bro. I'm not a bandwagon guy. I haven't jumped on the bandwagon now, so people know that. So if you guys beat us. And then you beat Leeds away next week, bro. These two games, you know what I mean?
Massive.
You're looking rosy, cozy.
Yeah, exactly. That's why October's massive, man.
And if we lose tomorrow,
and Man City,
and we don't beat City, we're looking dozy. So I'm telling you, it's looking dozy for us, man. So,
but Chris, Liverpool,
turning point game.
This is where you want Liverpool sometimes, because this is where we wake up out of. I won't be surprised. We get 6 points, right? And then do some crazy things against West Ham, and everybody's pulling their hair back again.
That's football. That's football. Even last season, I don't know if you guys remember, Arsenal lost to like Brighton, Southampton, and Palace, and then the next one was Chelsea, Chelsea, Man United, West Ham, and they won all of them ones, but they lost the easy ones. Like that's just football, and Liverpool can definitely beat Arsenal and Man City and just keep on going after that.
With me, I agree what Grizz said. I'm playing City and playing Arsenal right now. It's not the same fear factor. And no disrespecting Arsenal. And the reason is City has done this year in, year out, year in, year out. Now, maybe in a year or two, if Arsenal's still playing like this, then playing against Arsenal, I'm taking like gas medication because I'm worried. This is their first year. Can they do that again next year? Not that I'm disrespecting what they're doing now. Everything is, you take it as it comes. One game at a time. Yeah. But then if next year they're doing the same thing, then I'm like, Arsenal has arrived. Because playing City, it's something else. Playing a good team that has a momentum is also, it's something else. And Liverpool has to play well. If Rafa also made a comment earlier saying that, well, we play Lacazette and now you got Saliba and all those guys. Guys, you haven't. The same thing can be said to you guys too. You haven't played Liverpool at the highest level. What do you think will happen if you play Liverpool playing well? It doesn't matter who it is. Remember, we beat City, and they had all these great guys. But personally, I think it's going to be a great match. A lot of respect to Arsenal because even though when I'm depressed, I like to go to AFTV when you guys were losing, so I could get myself more,
Move to the Man United fan channels, man.
I do that to Man U. I love it. Even last week, I was so upset, but what happened on the next day, I was smiling like we won. But no, I picked Arsenal to be in the top 4. A friend of mine actually said Arsenal will be second and City will be third. So I'm hoping that still happens.
So who's winning the league? Liverpool.
Of course, come on. And he's not even a Liverpool fan. He's a Barca fan. He was a Barca fan. I'm like, if this go viral, you're going to make my channel so popular. But it didn't happen. But I think Arsenal will do well. But I think Chelsea and Spurs. At first, I thought Chelsea was going to miss out. Now Spurs concern me. They don't play well. The tactics that Conte is doing, it was good when he had that Chelsea team that he won with. He doesn't have the same players. So you guys beating them, I thought it was going to happen because you can't just sit there.
But you know what's mad? What's mad? That's the only loss this season.
Yeah, it didn't make no sense. Yeah, but before I go, Brother Grizz, your two brethren made a comment on Twitter or TikTok that is crazy. You need to find it and post it and make sure it goes viral. I don't want to mention
I'm not really a TikTok man, but go on.
No, this is on Twitter now. One of your very good brethren said Liverpool is not a Champions League team. And then
that video.
Yeah, do you know what it is? You need to just laugh at these things, man. I know these guys very well, man.
Yeah.
The game's the game. Kwasi, you really shouldn't take any notice of these things. You're way smarter and maturer, and you're not a kid, man. You don't need to worry about these. This is just for kids, and do you know what I mean? Having a joke.
I was having a long week, but that put a smile on my face, brother.
No. They're not serious. They know what football is really. They're just doing it. It's the game, man. It's the game. It's the game's the game. You know, and people do what they got to do to get their traction, to get
It's funny because it's the one thing you can't chat to Liverpool about.
Absolutely. Yeah. Exactly. It's literally this. You know, I don't even want to give it airtime. You don't give. You see me tweet it?
No.
You see me talk about it on any of my platforms? Unless you. No. That's how I do things.
But I want to congratulate you. But I want to congratulate you, Grace, for sticking to your principles and growing your channel. These days, it's very easy. It's very easy to go negative, and then you have your channel multiplied by tenfold. And I'm glad that you didn't take that route, and you say how it is, and being respectful and disagreeing with club, FSG, or Liverpool fans by just telling the truth. Right now, on Twitter,
you tell the truth according to you. You speak your opinion according to you, or you assess the situation. If you've got the insight and the foresight to see things way before, then you're a bigger man and you're a bad boy. Congratulations. But not every man has that insight to, you know, and if you can't speak on your current situation and take away that pride just because you're wrong, then you're gonna look silly. You're gonna look silly. But if you keep speaking on the opinion, if you keep giving your opinion on the situation as you see it, then I think people will respect you more.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what you've been doing. You there's opinions, and then there's factual opinions, and there's the facts. You know, we all know Liverpool. We all disagree with how Klopp managed the transfer window, whether it was him, Henry, or whatever. But at the end of the day, you're a Liverpool fan. Put the positive vibe out there so that, positive energy. So if you put negative out there and you say Liverpool's going to lose to Arsenal and we end up losing, don't talk about it. Just clap at yourself and keep moving. We don't want to see you crying. But some people, I think, are using it to, grow their channel, grow their Twitter fans. And to me, I'm just going with Klopp. I'm going with my team. When January comes, we will talk about who should we get or who we should have gotten. Maddison had a great week last week. Oh, Liverpool should have gotten Maddison. This week is Nunes because he dribbled 3 or 4 old Chelsea players. Now, why didn't Liverpool go for him? So I'm going with the positive vibe so that our team can win, because tomorrow could be game 1 for Liverpool, or it could be the last game for any top 4 hopes or even winning anything. So, Bill, I think you're doing a great job. Congratulations. You're my hero, and I follow you greatly. So I learned how to grow my channel also.
Bro, thank you very much. Humbled by that, man. You know what I mean? You're absolutely welcome, and you're welcome again. Listen,
thank you so much.
Catch up very soon, man. Good luck.
Yes, sir, BILAL. I'll see you tomorrow, BILAL, on Twitter. Oh, it's going on. Win or lose, I'm coming at you. Win or lose.
No. Lose, you gotta leave me alone. Leave me alone, please.
Take care, Kwasi.
Take care, guys.
All the best. All right. We got one scheduled caller to come in. We may have an unscheduled caller to come in as well. But what do you think about what I just said in the private chat?
Yeah. No, listen, man. If go on.
Well, let me see. Let him come on. We're gonna add Adrian, and then let's see if Omar comes in, and you can hold fort for a little while if you want.
Yeah, no
you know
problem.
What I mean, if it keeps flowing, because you can. There's a few other things maybe we want to speak on, but we see. But yeah, let's see if there's anything else. People loving the shirt Quasi had. Yep. Where else was there? Yeah, Hanok says positive energy won't win you games. Negative energy won't make you.
Negative energy doesn't. Everton last season's a classic example of
exactly.
that.
All right, let's add the next caller. Adrian's in the house. Well, we hope he's in the house. Can't see him, but we can hear. Can you hear us and see us? Yeah, all good to go.
Yeah,
all good to go. How are you?
Yeah. Sorry about the lighting again. I think I was on last week. It's just in the moving stuff. So this is the way the Wi-Fi is great. So
it's not a problem, my friend. As long as you, it's all good and you can hear us and see us, and we can hear you and see. Well, we don't need to see you, but as long as you're a legit caller, go for it, my brother.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, listen, I'm not going to really talk about the Liverpool Arsenal game because I feel like we've beaten that to death now. But yeah, I was just gonna talk about Chelsea because I was just interested in what Jezza was saying. Interesting stuff. Just the way I see it, I'm willing to give Potter time in it. Because I know what the problems are with this club and the way we've been run over the last 5 years. I think I said to you guys, like, the past half a decade, we've not been very competitive when it came to Premier League. We've been stuck in scraping fourth and third. And the reason behind that is we've not really had a vision, a long-term plan, the correct recruitment behind it. And what I'm seeing from what I'm hoping and what I'm seeing from what these guys are trying to do now, they're looking like they're trying to implement that kind of strategy. And I feel like that can bode very well for the future. When it comes to these upcoming games, my thing is for Potter is he just needs to win them. Performance-wise, I can see an improvement in performance. Koulibaly is interesting. I actually thought he played really well these last 2 games. He looked really good. I think the issue with him is I think he's the opposite of Rudiger, where he looks better in a back 4 than a back 3. And every time he's been in a back 4, he's looked really good. But I think with the back 3, he has an issue about when he doesn't know when to engage or not. So he's very good on the ball, but when he doesn't have the ball, he doesn't know when to push forward or when to set back. So I'm hoping that thing comes with time and learning the system, because I think at Napoli he stayed with a back 4 for years. So if we are going to back 3, I think he just needs to become familiar about when he wants to engage with the forward and not engage with the forward, because I think that's what has been his problem. When he has played in the back 3. When he's played in the back 4, he's been flawless for us. His passing is so good. I think that's the one thing that's really surprised me, that he's able to switch the play so well. And I think if in the future it might not work out for him at the left centre-back position, so if it doesn't work out for him at all, I can see him being that sort of central centre-back, sort of that successor for the Christensen, Thiago Silva role. Because I feel like he's so good at that sweeping role. And the good thing for Chelsea is that they've got like an absolute gem. Like they've got a lot of people were upset when Tomori and Mark Guehi left. The thing with me is I was going to be upset if they let the next Cobham centre back go, which is Levi Colwill, because I generally think he's the best one out of all of them.
Really?
Yeah. And I know that's
a lot of hype about him. Can I ask? And I don't know, so it might come across I'm trying to be cheeky or whatever, but I'm not. Where is that confidence and belief in him based on? Because where's he played?
Essentially, he's the youngest, one of the youngest centre backs at the club, and he basically has been touted when he was very young. I think Neil Barth, who's like one of the head academy people at Chelsea, and even people at the England setup who've seen like Tomori and Guehi, they said that at their age he was better than they were, and like he was like. I think there was a quote from someone from the Championship. I can't remember what club he played for, and he said, "This is the best player I've ever seen at this club."
Oh wow! Okay.
And he's been there for the last 80, 90 years. And he said he has the potential to be the greatest English centre back this country's ever seen. Now again, I don't know.
So is he on loan or has he been sold?
He's at Brighton right now. So it'll be interesting to see whether he gets integrated to De Zerbi's system. But he's very, very good on the ball. Strong, physical, quick. He's got all the attributes to be a top centre back. I think the reason why I think he's the best out of the trio of young centre backs that have come out through Cobham is that passing. I think he's the best passer out of all of them. His passing is elite.
Even better than Thiago Silva. Maybe you're a bit
I don't know
there.
that level because I haven't seen him in the top levels. But from what I've seen, he's a very good passer. Like I don't know. We're looking at good players in my opinion. Like I think what we're going to do, just going away from that centre back conversation, I think what we need to do is address the midfield, like you guys said. But of course, when the problem I have is from now till December, I think Potter just have to grind out results. Even though I think the performances are improving, I don't expect our form to be as consistent as it needs to be, just because I'm not confident in that midfield. And which is why I think I said to you guys, if we make the additions in January, which I'm saying is the midfield, then I think we will be good for top 4. Right now, it's wait and see. But if we make the correct additions, then we'll be calm. Because I know we've been linked to a guy from Benfica. I'm trying to remember his.
It's not
Enzo Fernandez. I think that's
Fernandez. Yeah, quite a few big teams have been linked with him.
Midfielder. Yeah, I've watched a couple of games of him now. I can see why people like him. He's very composed in the ball, and he's great at the switches of play. And I think he's got one of the most like insane ability. I read it somewhere like he never misses like a long ball. Like, so his switches of play are almost always going to perfectly hit the forward, which is quite interesting. But
you're gonna have a bit of competition with him. Everyone,
100%. Yeah, 100%. I think
I'm just gonna pop off a little while. I'm gonna leave you in the very capable hands of Bilal and the not so capable hands of yours, Highness Prince Omar.
I'm indoors today. I'm home.
Of course, Friday night. Wow, and you're home. Wow, amazing.
Saturday.
Saturday. All right,
Yeah, man.
Adrian, it's been a pleasure speaking to you. The channel's still going. The show's still going. I just need to have a little break. Omar and Bilal are still here though. Continue, sir. You've been fantastic. You've been making some great points. Go for it.
Yeah. See you, man.
Adrian,
I just quickly just ask you. Yep.
Yeah. Go on.
Yeah, I was just saying, the one thing I was saying, like, I understand what Grizz was saying about the competition thing, which is why I think it's quite good of the current ownership group that they're trying to go after targets early. I don't know whether Nkunku will actually happen or not, but the fact that they're even trying to, get ahead of the curve on that one, just in case they want to pull that one off, I think is encouraging. I think we got a new technical director as well. So having that sort of scouting expertise from the RB Leipzig group will help. And then I think we'll wait and see because I think what they want to do ideally is I think they had a guy set up, but I don't think he wanted to leave, or he wanted to bring his entire recruitment staff with him and the club refused. So he said, no, I don't want to go now. And so they said, okay, let's just wait and really figure out who's the perfect guy. I know they wanted Michael Edwards, and I don't think that's realistic, but I think they're going to try and convince him again in the summer and see what happens, or go for Paul Mitchell or someone like that, someone who's got experience in the Premier League. And I think that's going to pay dividends as well, because I think having that sort of elite scouting intellect within the department will help a lot, and will help us refine our targets so much more than the previous windows. Like, if you look at the last couple of windows, they've been very scattergunnish. Even under the previous regime under Roman Abramovich, it's been that sort of strategy. So even when people were complaining about the plan for this season, it was quite similar to the previous seasons. But yeah, man, hopeful for the future. Hopefully it all goes well. But first of all, focus on the midfield, bring a midfielder in January, and then we'll go for top 4, and then we'll go from there.
Can I ask you about Diego Costa? Because I just saw a quote where he apparently he basically had a massive dig at Antonio Conte.
Yeah, bro. This has been going on for years though. I think most Chelsea fans know that Antonio Conte wanted Costa to leave. He stayed for one season, won the Premier League, and then Conte forced the club to sell him, and so they sold him. But I think what he also said was he's never had a problem with the fans. It's only ever been with the manager at the time, which was Conte. And I think with him, he's like, I think the fans really like that kind of player, because he's one of those players where you'd hate to go against him, but you just love him if he was on your team.
Yeah, we had Suarez.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, like and he's so like underrated technically as well, because he just like he's able to do so many like little dribbles and stuff like that, which not many forwards can do. And he had that strength and power as well to just bully centre backs as well. That Fabregas and Costa partnership was just sensational at times. So when we won the Premier League, but yeah, man, I think for him, I actually really like the fact that he got like that time to sort of be applauded by the Chelsea fans at Stamford Bridge. I thought it was quite nice because I think he didn't really get to have that when he was originally here. But yeah, no, it was a good win. Wolves, aren't in great form, and they sacked their manager, so there's not much to take out of it. Just minute improvements on the squad. Loads of people were not happy with the team, including me, because I was worried when we initially came out with the team because he had like 7 people rotated in, and I was like Jorginho, Azpilicueta, Kepa. I'm not feeling confident about this one. I can't lie, but I think that was saying all of that. I actually think that was our best game. We looked a lot more fluid, and we were much more. I think that's the big thing. The big thing I'd say the difference between Tuchel and Potter is the directness, which I feel like it's been a lot. It's been very good, and I think his profile player is a bit better than Tuchel. Like the big one for me was Conor Gallagher. Like I just did not understand why he was playing as a DM under Tuchel. Like that was the biggest like I did not understand that at all. Like, under Potter, he's played more in the final third. He's looked better there. And I was just like, that's how he played at Palace. Surely you would play him there. But yeah, man. Chukwuemeka got a couple of minutes as well. He didn't start the game, but I think he could be a really good player for us, man. I'm very high on Chukwuemeka.
Do you know what's crazy? The fact that Chelsea, they were playing a back three with Tuchel, and everyone was like, oh, so negative, so defensive, whatever. Let's go to a back four. And Graham Potter's playing a back three at Chelsea, right now?
He's switching. He's sometimes playing a back four, sometimes playing a back three. But yeah, I get your point.
The football is so much better. So I just find the argument that when people look at a back three, they like think automatically that's a negative system.
Yeah,
it's
100%.
not. Guardiola's
it's more about your application.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. It's who's in charge. I think. Look, Graham Potter. I think this week 3-0 back to back. It's a huge week for him in terms of like confidence and him. For him personally saying, you know what, I can actually hack it at this level. Right, I've done amazing things at Ostersund, done amazing things at Brighton, but now I can hack it at this level. And I think, look, Chelsea, they look good again, and it's sort of an intangible thing with Chelsea where their new manager bounce tends to be better than everyone else's. So yeah, if I was a Chelsea fan, I would be pretty upbeat right now.
I understand why some Chelsea there's a discourse right now where most Chelsea fans are like, let's wait and see until we play someone, who's in serious good form, who's not got many injuries. So I feel like we played a lot of teams which, we played them in fortuitous time. Let's just say that. So I fully understand the argument that we need to see a proper test before we have any proper assessments of Potter. And I think the Chris Houston thing that Deza said, I can understand it, but equally I think the clubs are two completely different situations right now. And I think Potter's ceiling, I don't know if that's controversial to say that. I think Potter's ceiling, just because of the style of play he has and his sort of tactical flexibility, is a little bit higher than Howe's. I might be wrong in that. But I just think Potter's got that tactical flexibility that Howe doesn't. Maybe Howe develops that. But I think with Potter, I can see maybe in 2-3 years it doesn't work and we'll bring in someone with a similar philosophy. But and I can understand that could happen. But for me right now, I just like the way we're playing. And if we implement the correct additions in the winter window, which needs to happen, and the summer window, because believe me, we cannot try and make a top 4 challenge, because that's what we're doing this season. We always say that's our aim for this season, try and get into the top 4. And we can't maintain that with this current midfield. Like we need to we need to sign a DM in January, man. Like it just needs to happen, man.
Bilal, you want to say anything?
Yeah, no, I agree. But you should definitely be optimistic about what's happening at Chelsea. I find it interesting that Chelsea have gone and they're trying to get they looked at the 2 groups or 2 clubs, let's say for now, that play sustainable football, recruit well, and are always trying to think outside the box. And that's Brighton with what they've done with Potter getting him in, and also going for the Salzburg guy, Red Bull group, and then taking now the Leipzig guy, I believe. Yeah, I just think that shows that Chelsea are looking at those sort of models that they can build on and actually have a, as you said, like even if Potter gets sacked in 2-3 years, if you set a correct foundation, you can just get another guy who plays sort of philosophy. Let's say Jesse Marsh, for example, at Leeds, someone who understands that kind of play, that kind of system, and he could slot in.
Yeah.
So you can have that system going and that factory going. You don't need to spend big money every summer, and I think that's what Chelsea and this new ownership are gonna try to get to.
Yeah.
Invest heavily at the beginning. They'll put money in January, maybe, and in the summer, next summer. But after that, they're gonna probably try and start, getting the academy players in, looking at things outside the box. But now they're just building their foundation. And if you're a Chelsea fan, I think just be excited. You might not win as much as you did before under Abramovich, because that was throw money at it. If it doesn't work, sack the manager, start again. It's always top class.
Here's the question, Bilal, to you. I'll just throw this to you. Were we winning as much as we were, as much as people were making out in recent history, though? Because if I'm looking at these last 5 years, we've won 3 trophies.
So what, you won the Champions League, Europa League?
Yeah. Because 6 years ago is when we won the Premier League and the FA Cup. So we haven't really won that many trophies since the last couple of years. So even under Abramovich, we weren't necessarily winning as many trophies in recent history. It was that first 10, 15 years where we were just dominating the Premier League and consistently winning trophies. But I think there was a step off where you had teams like the Man Cities, the Liverpools, everyone else getting more money due to the new TV deals, which just meant that teams were able to have a model which was just more sustainable than ours. And I just think the hire and fire module and the entire way that the Roman Abramovich hierarchy works was going to get to a point where it just would not be able to basically create a team that was able to sustain for a title challenge, because they weren't building around one manager, and they didn't have a good recruitment team until they had one. I'd say from 2005 to 2015, our recruitment was quite good. But from that point onwards, they didn't really find anyone to replace the likes of Peter Kenyon, Michael Emenalo, those guys. Because those are the guys who brought in the top talents. When they left, we didn't really replace that structure well. We have Marina Granovskaya, but she's not really a director of football.
Yeah, no, listen, if you look at what Chelsea's, let's say, last 20 years history, they came into a time when it was really just Arsenal and Man United challenging for the league. Then Arsenal fell away. Chelsea ended up becoming that second team that could push Man United. And then that's when the Abu Dhabi group comes into Man City, and they have kind of revolutionized the Premier League in the last, 10 years. So 100%. I think that just shows that you need to have a clear plan when you're trying to win the Premier League. You can't just win a Premier League based on, hiring and firing, because that can get you cup wins, 100%. That can get you one-on-one cup wins. But to win a league sustainably, you need a clear plan that goes.
The only way we could have ever done that model again is if we had an incredibly strong, if we had the strongest core in the league. I think that's the only reason why, even throughout those years under the hiring and firing of Roman Abramovich, we were so successful, is because we had the strongest core in the league. That Drogba, Lampard, Terry core and Czech core just meant that no matter who the manager was, there was a strong spine that was able to stabilize the team no matter what happened. And then you had the likes of SCN, Balak, Makalele, the generals to keep the stability of the team up to par. So I think that's why when you have a player like Jorginho with the physical limitations he has, it affects your Premier League title challenge, and that's why I think we need a DM in Jan.
It's a different era of football, so that's what it was. And Chelsea had so many strong characters that stayed throughout every single manager. So it was just a manager that was changing at the end of the day, a different voice, and that always pushed Chelsea to doing something in the league, going to Champions League finals and doing something there. But I think Chelsea now, as I said, they're doing something well. They're looking at the likes of Liverpool and Man City and how you create a structure that can get you successful in the league, get you high points tally that should, in fact, get you at least challenging Man City and who else? Who knows who else in the future for the Premier League title?
100%, man.
Yeah, Adrian, we've got to move on, man. But thank you so much.
All right,
really appreciate it. But yeah, always a pleasure speaking to you. And have a good one. Right, guys. Yeah, go on. Hello? Yeah, sorry. Guys, we've got Nickel in. As he's a channel member, he gets priority. So yeah, Nikhil, how are you doing, my man?
I'm good. How are you? How are you, Bilal?
No, I'm doing all right, man. I'm waiting for tomorrow. I'm waiting for tomorrow.
You're waiting
How
for
about you?
tomorrow, yeah? So, confident?
Yeah, no, I've been confident. I guess, yeah, I've been confident for the game. Been talking about it for days now. So yeah, I've been confident. But as I said, this is a test. Liverpool's a test. Liverpool is, if my team can get past Liverpool, that for me is going to psychologically change the way maybe I even think about my own team. So tomorrow's massive.
Nikhil, how are you feeling?
Yeah. What's that?
How are you feeling about the game?
I mean, with recent results, it's not one of the best ways to get into a match like this, especially when Arsenal's, at its best over the last. You look at Arsenal over the last 5 years. I think this is the best we've seen Arsenal, and probably this is not one of the, this is one of the worst times. Liverpool is not at its best, and Arsenal is best. I would say that. So, it's tricky, but I'm confident. It's tricky, but I'm confident because I'm confident for the only reason is I believe in a big match, we have the psychological edge over Arsenal over the last few games. So I think that would help us. And it's a big match. I think the guys would step up. But it's not like it was maybe last season or before that. This is a different one. It's more of a 50-50, I would say.
So as a Liverpool fan, for me, I've said it all week. I said it to Bilal before. I still firmly believe that Liverpool, on their day, compared to Arsenal on their day, are a better team. So Liverpool, if Liverpool turn up tomorrow, we win. So for me, it's just whether we turn up. But I'm quite excited. I'm like, I know quite a lot of people are trying to play it down, but I'm really excited about this game. I think if we get it right, we get it right tomorrow, and it can kick on. So don't get me wrong. Tomorrow's a massive game in terms of like the mental side of everything. But I just think we're due something. We're due that sort of mentality monster thing that we have, and there's no better place than doing it at Arsenal, who are top of the league.
Yeah, what you said is right, but at the same time, you look at Arsenal, who have Arsenal played this season? They've done what they're supposed to do. Tottenham, no disrespect to Tottenham, but Arsenal at their worst also is to be Tottenham at home. You know what I mean, right? Like, even when Arsenal weren't at their best, they should be Tottenham at home. It wasn't a great thing. So Arsenal haven't done well against Man United away. So Arsenal, this match, they would be wanting to make a statement. Arsenal fans, Arsenal would want to make a statement. This is one match. Listen, they get a win against us, they will want to make a statement. So, this is something, it's very tricky. This match is very tricky. Obviously, as you said, if we get a game to the party, it's very difficult to stop us. But at the same time, Arsenal at home, their fans will be up for it. They would want to make a statement. So, it's important. And one thing, it's important how we, go about the opening few minutes of the game, because it'll be important just to get their fans, get them a bit quiet down, get them, neutralize the fan support that they have, and then take it from there.
Yeah. No, I think if you're on the away team, you're going to have to do that. Especially the Emirates right now is a place where everyone wants to go. Even me trying to get a ticket today, it's an absolute mission to try and get it. So it just shows like the demand and the energy that the fans are bringing to the stadium now. And now Liverpool, everyone's going to be looking. We need to make that statement win, because even though Arsenal being top of the league all this time, let's be honest, everyone's thinking, okay, it's Arsenal just going to fall away because they haven't made that statement win yet. They had the chance at Old Trafford, didn't win. Of course, it was Tottenham last week. Cool, we've already gone through that. That was expected that Arsenal win that game. But now to beat Liverpool at home, that would be a statement. Home or away for me. If you beat Liverpool, a Klopp team with the players that Liverpool have, for me, that would be a massive statement. I think now, if that happens, then now maybe people will start taking Arsenal a little bit more seriously and start changing their perception. Because Arsenal right now, they're still in that process where they have to change perceptions. Like Liverpool had to change perception of their team for a while. Liverpool with that team, yes, they can have great attacking players and they can score many goals, but at the back, we knew Liverpool probably would concede 3. They could concede 4 in one game or lose a game in a weird way. But then when the likes of Van Dijk came in and the likes of Alisson came in, all of a sudden perceptions changed because of their performances. And that's the stage Arsenal at they need to start changing the perception, not only on the outside, but even for themselves. Because when you change it for the outside, then you're going to start believing even more. And that's why I think tomorrow it's just going to be a massive game. Cannot wait.
Yeah, but see, for me, the thing with Arsenal, I mean, over the course of a season, Arsenal's starting 11, the 11 that they have, is good enough. I mean, is good enough to beat any team on their day. I mean, listen, their starting 11 is good, and it's been even last season, the starting 11 is good. But it's the thing is, over the course of a season, how would Arsenal deal with the injury? Say somebody's injured, they're playing midweek. That is my concern if I was an Arsenal fan. But right now, it's good. They have the 11 players. Listen, they can beat anybody. Because right now, the way they are playing with those 11 players, they look really good. I mean, who they've got this summer who's really made a difference? One is Saliba, who's really come in. He wasn't there last season. Other than that, Jesus. So at both ends of the pitch, they've got two people who are really making a difference. Other than that, it's pretty much a same team. And those guys last year also, these guys, Saka and all these guys, they performed very well last year. They missed out by 1 point. And that was, if you look at towards the end, they had a few injuries. That's why they missed out on top 4. If those injuries weren't there, Arsenal would definitely be in the top 4. Because if you see the season towards, especially the last 3-4 months, Arsenal did pretty well, I thought. So, I mean, that can happen. 1 point doesn't, obviously, it's a difference between Europa League and Champions League, but that doesn't say that it's a difference between the quality of the teams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, Arsenal are there, but the only concern for me with Arsenal would be once the injuries come in, can they cope up with that? That's the only thing. Other than that, this 11, I'm surely they can beat any team on their day.
Yeah, no, Omar, I agree with that. What do you think about what Nicole's saying there?
I think, I obviously you can see the impact of the likes of Zinchenko and Jesus, and it's just the thing with Arteta, and Grizz has said it all the time, and he gets taken the piss out a bit for it, but it is so true. When Arteta came in, all right, maybe you started playing in a slightly different way, but you saw the sort of process, sort of land and attempt to land, and he's made hard decisions, but I feel like in the long term they've actually sort of paid off, like the Aubameyang, Ozil, all these sort of decisions that any other manager, if they didn't do that, they might have failed, they might be out of the job already. So he's made hard decisions and he's made correct decisions. For me, how I see Arteta, I see like they remind me of a young Jurgen Klopp Liverpool, so sort of like 16, 17, 17, 18, where you're starting to get your pieces together, right? Like how we started to build Mane, Salah, Firmino, Van Dijk came in. I still think you need you still need your like your Alisson signing. You need your like I guess your Van Dijk signing that really just turns the screw and makes you guys like completely feared. But yeah, I am. For me, as a rival fan, that's a worry because, like, I feel like Arsenal are going to go from strength to strength. That young core is hungry and it is so talented. It's just, again, it's a depth thing. Like the midfield, like Lokonga is your backup defensive midfielder.
Yeah, that's the issue. That's the issue. 100%. That's the main issue. That's the most area of the pitch I'm concerned. If Partey gets injured, which is like, I think Partey's played like 58% Arsenal games since he's turned up at the club, which is not good enough. Yeah, but when he doesn't play,
Bilal,
most of the time we
but
lose.
You're not talking about Xhaka. Xhaka has had a great season.
Xhaka's good, but
I mean he's done really well. I mean he's got a lot of sting from a lot of Arsenal fans. But as a neutral, Xhaka has played very well so far this season. I mean, I have to give credit where it's due. The guy has been, he's been great so far.
Yeah, no, I do agree, but it's just that DM role is a specialized role. You guys know with Fabinho, if Fabinho's 100% on it, that changes Liverpool's midfield. But if Fabinho's off, or you have to play someone else there, that completely can change and dismantle and disrupt the structure of the team. So it's just that area of the pitch where I'm a bit concerned about. But hopefully, Partey stays fit until the World Cup, and then January I see someone come in to like compete with him or is on his level. That's what I'm hoping for as a fan. But apart from that, right now, as Nicole said, listen, if we play our 11 players every single game and they're fit, I'm confident for most games. Maybe the game against Man City, that's the only game I'll probably go into like, oh, okay, it's still Man City. They're another level to us. But apart from that, nearly every other team in the league, if we have our 11, I'm thinking we can do a job. And that includes, even includes Liverpool this season because of Liverpool's drop off, not because of if it was Liverpool last season. I'll put Liverpool and Man City in the same category. But if Liverpool are still going to be at this level that we've seen them this year, not really finding that structure, that counter pressing that the way they used to, then of course I add Liverpool into that. But the moment Liverpool start changing it back, which I believe you guys will, as long as you keep Klopp and you keep the faith, don't sack him, don't say Klopp out, just let him do his thing.
I think that is the last. That is the last question which is ever going to happen is Klopp being sacked. I don't even if we don't get top for this season, I don't think that's even going to be considered, at least for me. But I don't know. It is what it is.
He will turn it around. You just got to give him time. And he was talking about in the press conference. If you guys, I'm pretty sure you guys listened to his press conference. I only saw a few minutes, but he was talking about how Arteta got time, and sometimes you need time. But I think he was meaning it in more of his situation where, like, I need time maybe to fix what's happening at Liverpool right now.
I think more than Klopp, I think he was taking a dig at the guys, the blue half of London, rather than taking a dig at somebody else.
He will turn it around. I'm with Bilal on that. Like, I agree with like Messi FC's comment. Nobody is bigger than the club. Jurgen isn't immune to that. I completely agree. And he's obviously open to criticism. If one of the key like strengths and now slight weaknesses that of Klopp is maybe his stubbornness, and his loyalty to players, the way Wenger maybe was perceived like that. He was really stubborn, and it worked because if you show that sort of loyalty and love to your players, they will perform. They will run their socks. They will run themselves into the ground for you, essentially. And it also comes at a cost where you may hold to a player for a couple years longer than they should. For me, with Klopp, so Nikhil, how do you think from the Rangers game we went with the sort of 4-2-3-1 formation? Do you think that are you gonna want to see that tomorrow? And how do you think that would impact the game tactically from a Liverpool perspective? Do you think a confident Arsenal would sort of play into our hands the way maybe a bit more of a cagey Arsenal wouldn't?
See, one thing with Arsenal is they are going to play on the attack. It's not a team is going to park the bus or play on the counter. I expect Arsenal at home to take the game to us. So I think that would perhaps suit our style. And if they do that, it would be a great game of football. It would be attack versus attack. And I think that would play into our hand. And if we do that, I think he'll go for a 4-3-3. And, when you get the chance, finish them. Of course, you're away from home. And I think with Arsenal, and if they attack, we'll get a lot of chances. If we play a 4-3-3, but if you play a 4-2-3-1, I don't think he would do that because, he would be a bit more conservative, at least to start off the game with. Initially, during the course of the game, he may change it depending how the game goes, but I don't think he will go for he will go more attacking compared to with the Rangers game. I don't think he will go attacking at the start against Arsenal, considering the way they are playing. So I think he would be a bit, wait and watch kind of a thing, go with the traditional 4-3-3. That's what I think. What do you think? What should we start? Like, how should we go about the game?
I personally want to go with I know the 4-3-3 argument. 4-3-3 argument. I understand that. Like, you want to match Arsenal in midfield. You want to be dominant in there. But I just think you can still control a game in that pivot. I think. Look, Real Madrid have been playing pretty much 4-4-2 for however long, right? I know they've had like certain guys on and like it's been like a 4-3-3, 4-4-2, but you're still able, even though Arsenal might be the team that overloads the midfield, I think if we go into a midfield battle with Arsenal right now, Arsenal dominate that because Arsenal play pretty much 5 people in that midfield with the likes of Zinchenko and Ben White coming in there. So how do you combat that? I think you go back to the sort of old Jurgen Klopp way, that really direct, skip out the midfield, let's get it out to our wingers. Someone like Trent, Tsimikas, these guys have really good 40, 50-yard pings on them that can really just cut through a team. And if Arsenal are going to be up in our face, the spaces will be there. If Arsenal want to go 3v3 against our front three or front four almost, then so be it. Because I feel like that's where we're dangerous, and that's the sort of Liverpool Klopp identity that's been sort of established essentially. I think it all matters on. I agree with Manda's comment about Liverpool need to start strong. Liverpool start strong. Arsenal might just say, "Oh, okay, this is a serious Liverpool team today," and they might just go, "Oh, they might start kicking it." If Liverpool don't start strong, if Arsenal score first, Arsenal are gonna respect this Liverpool team even less. And if they start playing with their swag, they're confident. Arsenal on form, Jesus, Martinelli, Saka, all these guys, you all like it could be a very long day for Liverpool. I'm hoping it's not, and I feel it won't be, but it could be a long day. But I feel like, sorry, I diverted a bit. Going back, I thought the performance against Rangers was so promising because we sort of kind of went back to basics. We went back to how the Liverpool identity that we've realised in terms of the pressing, in terms of like the hustling, in terms of the direct football, in terms of the link up play. And I feel like why would you go back from that to something that has failed you really?
No, yeah, what you said is right. You have a valid point. I mean, the situation you are right now, and it's better to go on the offensive than to be a bit more conservative. I mean, I agree with where you come from, but again, it's like as you said, you don't want to go away to Arsenal and 30 minutes be a goal or two down. You'd rather want to ease into the match and then take it from there. That's what I feel like. 4-2-3-1 works well, but not initially. Initially, let's hold them. Let's see what they have to offer. Let's respect them, give them a bit time, and then take it from there. That's what I say. At least for the initial 30 minutes, let's see how it goes, and then probably we could get another attacker on and get maybe start with Elliot, and then get what's his name, get Jota or Nunes, whoever. I mean, whoever has to come in instead of them.
For me, I love Elliot, but if Elliot plays, he plays on the sort of right central midfield role, and I think Arsenal, especially if they play Zinchenko, Xhaka, Martinelli, they're really strong down that side, and they will sort of overload us there. I feel like if we do play 4-3-3, you probably do have to play a Jordan Henderson there who knows that role, and hopefully he's not our furthest forward player. Hopefully there's some sense in our tactic and says, okay, Arsenal are really strong down that side. They love overloading it. Right, Henderson, I don't need you to be making third man runs. I need you to be doing what you did against Rangers, which is sort of sweeping up for Trent and allowing Trent to create. Because when that happens and it's been the formula for time, why change it? But
fair enough.
I think I mean, Bilal, you can say this. Arsenal are notorious for starting strong this year, right?
Yeah, I'd say most of our games, you can tell what's going to happen in the first like 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
If Arsenal start strong, most of the time we win the game. If we don't start strong, and the game against Fulham for me was like an example where like, okay, for me it was a bit of a difficult game, and then it got to the second half and Fulham even take the lead in that game, we have to fight back and then win it. Those are the kind of games that if you can get it to a 0-0 at half time, for example, Arsenal start thinking, okay, how are we going to try and turn the screw again? Because Arsenal will start strong. And if you can just weather that storm at the first 20, 30 minutes, as Nick was saying, then that's going to give you chances. 11 Tottenham last week, after the first 20 minutes of Arsenal just dominating the game, they had a spell in the game for like 10, 15 minutes where if they were more clinical, they could have maybe scored one or two more goals. So that will, and with the quality that Liverpool have up front and the options with the Salahs and the Diaz, the Jotas, the Nunes, the Firminos, that's where Liverpool, I think, are going to be scary for Arsenal in that sense. But again, Arsenal, we're talking about their midfield. I think this game tactically is so interesting because like Martinelli and Saka are going to be high and wide. They're the guys who are going to stretch the pitch. And Trent, even though if he wants to go forward, he's always going to be thinking Martinelli is literally just hanging behind him or on the same level as him. but out wide. So he's always going to be thinking, yo, this guy's near me. He could turn if a ball goes in.
Yeah.
And I think for both teams, they're going to be thinking that if Zinchenko's playing, for example, he's going to be thinking, yo, if Salah's doing that, I'm thinking of, so for that side of the game is going to be interesting. And whoever takes control, then they will start probably seeing success early on. I could see loads of goals in this game, to be honest. So yeah, if you're neutral, you're definitely going to enjoy. For us fans, it might not be good because I can see it being an open game. Both teams really wanted to get at it. And Liverpool, if they play more of a direct style, that is definitely a counter to a team like Arsenal who are trying to keep the ball 100%.
Yeah, no, I agree. Should we get into some score predictions?
Yeah, do you want to read the super chat out here first? I believe. Let me see. I pinned this out here. So yeah, so this is from JJ Ash. Big you up, man. And this was I guess to Grizz before he had to just leave. So it says big family man from Aguna here. 3-1 to us. Come on, you Gunners. And if we're going into score predictions, I did say on Young Bucks. I did say on Young Bucks, 3-1 to Arsenal. That was my prediction. I don't think anyone's keeping a clean sheet in this game. At the very least, I think that's the one thing. If I see a clean sheet, we had Zuberi on earlier. He said like he's hoping for like a 1-0 to Liverpool. That would be the best. We don't see clean sheet. I don't see a clean sheet in this game for anyone.
Nikhil, thoughts on what you think is going to happen in the game?
As he said, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I mean, if we come out with a 4-2-3-1, I mean, listen, I'll be positive. I say 4 to Liverpool.
If we come out with a 4-2-3-1, I expect us to go toe-to-toe with Arsenal and may the best man win. Whoever's sharper, whoever's more clinical, go for it. And I would love to see that, right? I think it's in the Liverpool DNA for Liverpool to never come into a game and look to be cagey. I don't think, especially under Klopp, you can never be that as a Liverpool team. And look, again, that might be a bit of stubbornness, and you've got to sometimes make that sort of sacrifice. But I feel like we will come out with that 4-2-3-1. And I think I said it on Young Bucks as well. I said 3-1 to Liverpool. I think, yeah, I agree with Bilal. I don't think there's going to be a clean sheet. I think you've got probably like that front four at Arsenal is clicking right now. And then obviously
even a front five at times. Even a front five at times.
As well, yeah. So yeah, but then of course you have Liverpool who are absolutely dangerous. Diaz, Salah, were exceptional on Tuesday. I think. Nico, do you think Núñez will start, or do you think we'll get like a Firmino back in if we do stick with that 4-2-3-1?
For me personally, I want Núñez to start.
Okay.
Because
I think you're like the first person who said that. Núñez.
I want Núñez to start.
Yeah.
Listen, I mean, I feel the guy's not got enough time. I personally feel if you look through his matches, first game he played first half. Second game he got sent off, then he had a suspension, then he came on and off, then he started the Rangers game. He's not really had a run in. I say like, listen, we believe in him, we signed the guy, right? Let's throw him it's a big game, put him in there. Let's back the guy. What's the point of keeping you sign somebody 85, 90 million, keeping him on the bench when it's a big game. Let's put him there. That's what I believe, and I mean, he's not scoring, but you saw the runs that he made against Rangers. That means he's clicking with the team. He's understanding that. So, he's getting there. It will take time, like any Klopp signings. It will take time, but he will be there. Like you see, most of the guys that he signed, Klopp, initially they take their time. So for me, I mean, if Klopp believes he's ready, he should be in there. There's no two ways. He should start because, I mean, Núñez is a nuisance. He's a nuisance for a defender. Like, he's aggressive, he's fast, he's physically strong, and he will be running up and down over there. So, I mean, I would start Núñez. I would really start Núñez up front.
No, I like that, man. I do like that. I think I'd love to see Núñez start. I don't know. I agree with Sam's comment about him suiting this sort of game. And I feel like his directness, those runs, especially if Arsenal do sort of look to overcommit in midfield, those channels, like his connection with Salah, I know he didn't score, but that performance gave me so much hope for Darwin Núñez to say, yeah, he's going to do something. I think the problem for me, I think Firmino comes back in, and then that leaves one role. Is it Jota or is it Núñez? And this is if we play with that sort of, if we go 4-3-3, there's one position for Firmino, Jota, and Núñez. And again, like, what do you do there? I think Firmino's in such good form in terms of like goal scoring form that he's going to start. And then it's Jota. We know what he does to Arsenal. He knows the Liverpool way. You might just need to roll it back to last year, and sort of have that sort of Liverpool away performance. The way we went to Arsenal for the last 2 games there, in the League Cup and then in the league, both 2-0 wins. And look, Arsenal came out the traps in both of those games, but sort of Liverpool's way got around it. And I think Jota was essential to both those games in terms of his goals and in terms of just his pressing, really.
Yeah, no, Liverpool in those 2 games last season, like in the Emirates games, were so solid, so hard to play against. Like Fabinho, the way he reads games, the tackles he was putting in, like it was very hard for Arsenal to even get going at all in those games. And then when the quality of Jota and Firmino and one of the League Cup games showed itself, and guys got the win. For me, like, you have to play Firmino, in my opinion. The form he's on, the way he plays, because he plays like, for example, that's like Firmino's like an Arsenal type footballer in terms of the technical quality, the way he can find a pass, the spaces he can find. That's why I think he's successful against Arsenal, because he suits like the way Arsenal kind of play, and he understands the way a team like that moves. And if you can get him working with Jota at the same time, I think that's going to be dangerous. The only thing is, you just tell Salah and Diaz, just be more disciplined defensively. Attacking wise, when it's time to attack, go have fun, go attack the spaces. But when it's time to defend, you got to help out the guys in midfield and do something there.
I actually really think they're both being defensively very. I don't know, Nico, if you want to back me up, but Diaz, like, he's an absolute pest. He does not stop running.
Yeah.
Salah this season, like, especially, you notice it. How many times has like a team counted on us, and our last man is Mo Salah? So I think the desire is there from both of them. I feel like where we're losing the ground is in the midfield, where we're sort of getting outrun. So I feel like if we need to work anywhere and really work our off, it is in that midfield. And Henderson and Thiago worked their socks off against Rangers, and it was I know Rangers, but it was an imperious performance. So I think we're gonna wrap it up there, right, Bilal?
Yeah, wrap it up soon. Nico, any last words you have? Anything you want to say before you?
I wanted to ask you, like, what, as an Arsenal, I mean, we spoke as Liverpool fans, but an Arsenal fan, what would be your, how would you like, how do you think Arsenal would start the match? I mean, listen, Arsenal are in top form, no doubt, but how do you think they'll start the match? Would they come all guns blazing, go out, or they would be a bit cautious and, see how the game goes through? And would you take a draw in this match? Like, I mean, what would it be? Would it be home, 3 points? Would you want a draw? Would you be happy with a draw? Or how would it be for an Arsenal fan? Like, the way the season started?
Yeah, well, I would say Arsenal, for me as a fan, and the team, so I'd expect them to start on the front foot, chase Liverpool down, show them that we're here for a game, because that's what Liverpool have been doing to Arsenal for years. They've been the one hunting us down. So you want to already psychologically just flip that and show, you know what, we're here for a game now. And I expect Arsenal, with the fans and everything, Jesus and Martinelli, these two in particular, they are weirdos, especially Jesus. He's like a cheater with his reactions. The way he reacts to some balls, I'm watching, I don't understand how you've got that ball. You shouldn't get it, but he gets it like 9 times out of 10. So these are the kind of guys that are going to be leading the press. Even Xhaka, he goes really far forward at times. Sometimes he's the furthest player on the pitch when the pressing happens. And I think that's what Arsenal are going to start with. But in those moments, if Arsenal come out 2 guns blazing, Liverpool maybe can catch them early. You never know. They can get a Salah in behind, a Diaz in behind, and do something there. But in terms of results, obviously I want the 3 points. I want a win. But of course, even if a draw did happen, for example, it wouldn't be the end of the world, because you did play Liverpool, and Liverpool are still a top team. So even if you did draw that game, it's not the end of the world. But I think a loss would would be bad psychologically, even for
Yeah.
Arsenal, and I think for Liverpool might be even more worse because you got Man City next. You can't just bounce back probably against a lower team in the table.
All the pressure is on Liverpool, I think, in this game in terms of getting a
Yeah.
result. I think Arsenal can do with a draw, right? Again, it's a draw at home to Liverpool. You didn't lose your. I think does that keep you in second or put you level with City?
We're 1 point, so we'll be second because of goal difference, right?
Yeah, but you'll be
draw the
joint
game.
top, which is fine. Like you'll have had Liverpool, Spurs, and United out the way, which like whatever. I think for Liverpool, a loss here going into that City game, it's like wow, okay, like, but then a win going to that.
You're looking at that City game. You're looking at it like, oh, yeah, we could do something. Exactly.
Now, so it's very. I hate the fact that it is actually such an important game this early in the season, but it is in terms of the fixtures coming up, and it shouldn't be. But yeah, it's the situation we're in. We've had a terrible start, so
you have to make up ground at some point if you're gonna. If you don't, then you're not at the end of the day. So, Nico, honestly, big you up, man. Thanks for coming on. You're always nice to have on here.
Pleasure, man.
Honestly. Yeah, big up, man. Big up. So, yeah, that leaves us two. Yeah. And guys, I don't know what the likes are right now. Can you see them?
I'm going to check. Oh, to be fair, they're good. 252.
Big yourself up, guys, because, yeah, you guys have been sick today. 252 likes. Grizz had to pop off and we held the fort down, but Nico came through. And, yeah, we had a good talk. Let's just read a few comments before we jump off here. Yes, sir, says if Arsenal get a draw, we will be disappointed. Clyde Fagan says if Trent and VVD are on the slow quicksand jogging pace, we will concede. Manda says here 3 points is a must for us. I believe it's a Liverpool fan. And yeah, so City will be at home. So yeah, Arsenal are dreaming for a draw. I don't know about that, but yeah, honestly, it's going to be a great game tomorrow. I'm excited to go to the game. Haven't been to Emirates all season, so for me, on a personal note, I'm excited, and I'm hoping to see some. I'm hoping to see some entertainment. So yeah,
it's a good time to go as an Arsenal fan, man. The fans are up. You don't want to go in those dark days where Xhaka was getting booed off. Xhaka's the guy now, so.
Unai Emery era, man, no one was trying to be there. No, that was terrible scenes. But yeah, with Arteta, it's been tough. I'm not gonna lie. Watching him first come in playing that 5 at the back, won the FA Cup, fair enough. 8 back-to-back 8th place finishes, and then now finally we're starting to see something. So yeah, sometimes you gotta just keep trying and try again. But yeah, Omar, big yourself up for coming on as well. And yeah, guys, we're heading out. Peace.